All right, welcome back to session 61, the Saturday Ironheart Merchant Company series, a Black Rosed Noble. But before we get back into today's episode, we're going to take a moment, spin the clock back a few moments, and look back on what happened last time. And truly, as we were just talking a moment ago, last episode was a flapping about. With the party coming back into session and going back to the noble house to majority deal with this. The other portion of this, well, actually, be fair, let's take a step back. The party waking up in the morning, the following morning, and deciding to head into town to go look into information about the manor and a little bit of other things with this dagger that they had acquired. As the party found themselves splitting up once they got outside of the castle, Syndra would head back to the ship and begin booby-trapping it, prepping it for an attack, just in case, while also going about her own business to buy time and make it look like the knife that the Black Rose Thieves Guild was looking for was with her. Meanwhile, James and Roland would head back through town, first looking for a merchant shop where Roland would finally find his legendary item that he's been looking for, his Sphere of Awakening, so he can once again ponder his orb. As the party, though, met a very interesting member of the Grey Rat clan, they had found out that she seemed to have a connection of sorts with the Black Rose, but at the time, James and Roland did not have time to explore further into the option, as they had other things they had to go take care of. With the two of them heading on into the city and towards the manor to find out more about what had gone on with the manor, more about the potential destruction, and the other nobles that were planning to seek reimbursement rather, for their losses. As the party, though, found themselves still split up with Roland and James arriving at the manor, James making good friends with the captain of the guard himself, while Roland would ingratiate himself with the local workers who were helping clear the debris. James eventually joining in to assist to kind of keep his imagery, but the party found themselves cleaning up, finding a few interesting things. Though unfortunately, as they finished cleaning, they would end up heading back to find Syndra and meet up in front of the merchant lady's shop, from what I recall. As the party was discussing going to meet with them, they walked through her doorway in her shop and found themselves suddenly in the middle of an open area, a large mountain cliffside in front of them, and with a huge opening and two dwarven statues to either side. We return back to the party, still standing in front of the massive stronghold that looked like it was inside of a mountainside. In the year 65,007, the month of the planting, or April, and on the 11th day, it is currently evening with the sun having gone down. As we return, as you three find yourselves standing in front of this entrance. The doors beginning to open as the ground kind of shakes and rumbles. A cloud of smoke kind of almost billowing out, filled with dust as the doors settle into place. The rumbling stopping, and as it does, you all look around as your eyes begin to adjust to the light levels, having it be a little bit darker. Seemingly, the sky itself, not above, but nothing seemingly there but a pitch darkness. Off to your right stands a unique-looking fellow with somewhat pointed ears, a few studs of metal in them, as well as a pretty large ponytail and a hefty beard kind of billowing out. A bit of grayish on top that seems to kind of fade into what looks to be almost a caramel brown in his beard. Snowbeard himself looking very old as he stands there as you look over and see three others that seem to all be very common in their appearance, wearing what looks to be guards' attire. The sigil of the bronze beards kind of showing on them. The distinctive leader of the group kind of looking over at you lot for a moment and kind of gives a wry smile as you see a few of his teeth are missing, and can even from about the 20 feet that he stands away from you, you can smell the booze coming from his mouth as it opens as he goes, "Oh, I didn't think I'd be the only one, but I did not think to be greeted by someone so famous. Allow me to introduce myself. Well, truly, I'm no one."
If I recognize this man.
What was that?
I was about to ask, do I recognize this man?
Give me a either profession merchant or knowledge nobility.
I'll go profession merchant. I did the wrong
Nice.
thing.
Nice.
Nice.
Avery just doesn't like my chat.
19.
19.
I really like your chat. The other one doesn't.
As you look him up and down, and is this a profession merchant or is this nobility? Merchant. Okay. Looking him up and down, he kind of something as he calls him, or as he shows himself, you see the sigil of the Bronzebeard, but as you look him up and down, he's definitely not a desert dwarf. Amongst the Snowbeards. Well, Snowbeard generally is just a terminology for the entire race. Of course, there's subspecies for each of the clans. He seems to give off, as you notice, he looks more to be almost like an earth dwarf, which are slightly a little bit lighter in skin, a bit more brownish in their beard, and that would be of the clan of Deathweed, a subclan to the House Bronzebeard, but strange that this individual seems to be carrying the sigil of House Bronzebeard, and he doesn't look like anybody you've met before, which is something else that's kind of odd, as none of the nobles that you remember kind of fit to this individual's depiction. Could be a bastard, could be a half-breed, or just some low-rank member of the branch of the family, but you're not familiar with who this is.
It's nice to meet a member of Clan Bronzebeard here, although a bit surprising.
Oh, yes. I kind of looks you up and down, kind of eyeing Rollman and Syndra as he does, and looks back at you and goes, I serve as a guard captain messenger. Low on the totem pole. My father was the brother of the uncle of the grandfather of the current leader of the house. So, in simple terms, they couldn't give a hoot about me and send me on all their fun missions. But why is there a member so distinct as yourself arriving here? Were you also coming to kind of deal with the Black Rose?
Some personal business.
Well, I mean, you are here first. It's only right I let you go first. I can wait outside if you'd rather. We don't mind. He's
Sense motive.
Back at his men. Yeah, go ahead and give me a sense motive.
Reminder before you sense motive, the Black Rose leader is currently in a bad mood, as we were told last session.
Yeah.
He who meets with him first is probably going to go badly.
Yeah, that's why I'm sensing motive, because he might know this as well, so I'm trying to see if he's trying to send me to my death. I'm going to insist he goes.
Ginger will insist he goes first if you roll badly. Don't worry, because I remember. I remember what we were
told. I know this too, it's just I'm trying to play to the character.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
I'm just making sure I have the right bonus. Yeah, plus 8. I remember my mercantile better than sense motive.
Wow. I mean, everything. This guy doesn't seem to genuinely have any intention of like causing you any trouble. It seems he seems to be more surprised that you're here. Is what you're kind of getting off of him. From all you can tell, this guy was probably planning to go in there by him with himself, even if you guys weren't here.
No. The leader's not expecting us for several hours.
He nods.
Please, go ahead. We can wait.
He bows. He gives a slight bow to that and goes, "Oh, of course, I do appreciate that. Thank you. If you want me to let him know that you're waiting once we leave, I can let him know that,
He should know.
Sure, alright." He kind of nods to his men who begin to follow him in as he walks through the doors, kind of disappearing into the darkness. Huh?
How many people did he have with him?
From what you count, Rollman, he has 3 what look to be Earth dwarves, dwarven bodyguards that are kind of following behind him. Most of them looking to be wearing a mix of leather and a bit of a half plate here and there. Go ahead.
could I gauge their strength?
Yeah. Give me a proficient mercenary roll.
Well,
Okie dokie.
I guess out of character, we're gonna see how bad we is by how many people walk out compared to who walked in.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
see
I
how
want
bad.
to see how well they'll do if they went into a fight.
Dude, if we're called in and no one walks out, I'm really concerned.
10. I mean, compared to you, you would consider these individuals about equivalent to a guard, maybe a decent guard, maybe a low end guard captain. You probably cut these individuals down in maybe in about a single round of combat. You're pretty sure. They're not very impressive. They looked better than your average guards. You're definitely sure of that. But mercenary wise, you consider them pretty average for what you'd expect.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
So what, like 2 to 4 level?
A little bit higher than that. About roughly 4 to about 7 would be about the equivalents.
Okay.
As they disappear, heading inside, a few moments go by, and you find yourselves kind of standing out here, kind of waiting. You have no idea how long this meeting was going to go for. As you kind of wait, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm looking around for potential exits or traps herself.
Okay.
See if we'll get out of here real quick.
Yeah, give me a search check real quick.
Okay. I'm doing the bodyguard thing, guys.
He is.
Proud of you.
He's bodyguarding.
Bodyguarding.
Alright. With an 18, as you look about, you do see as you turn around, the doorway is still open, and there is still a doorknob there that you can fully turn. And as you theorize, kind of looking at it, go back out the entrance that you came through. As you look around the rest of the area, it seems to be just almost a magical darkness as you kind of walk over to investigate, kind of sticking your hand out just slightly enough to see what would happen. You see as your hand comes back into the space, about 5 feet to your right, slightly. As you kind of pull your hand back out, it comes back out fully intact.
Pac-Man rules.
As you all look back at Rollman as he says this, and James remembers hearing a strange comment from a couple of kids about an evil little monster that would trap you in a room that you couldn't get out of. You'd run to the edges of the room and then find yourself back in front of the beast.
It also brings up the memories of a creature that's said to trap souls somewhere and torment them for eternity.
Hence what I just implied.
Yeah.
But
fucking.
As you look about,
okay, Rollman.
Otherwise,
why are you bringing up that cursed being?
This is Pac-Man rules. I do the hand thing again to show him.
as you see his hand kind of do the same effect once more.
Horrifying. Okay.
But otherwise, Rollman, you find nothing else that catches your attention around the area.
Okie dokie.
Yes, James.
At that noticed, how many guards or people do we see coming and going from this area?
As you kind of stand there after kind of a few minutes of watching Rollman kind of look about and testing the different walls to make sure this effect kind of goes along the entire area of the perimeter, no one else comes out. No one else goes in.
It's a little troubling that no one's entering or exiting.
Probably should ask to see what he was here for and gauge how long he would be in there for, based off
Just
that.
Was it? What was that, Syndra?
I'm just taking care of my eyebrows.
Do some, makeover.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't done it in a while.
You hear everyone so ow! Because Syndra plucks something, one of the eyelashes or eyebrows out. Yeah.
Well, it's still better to have them go in first, and instead of putting ourselves at risk.
I do some stretches.
Okay. Yeah. As you start to kind of stretch, relaxing, kind of getting yourself limbered up as you get yourself ready. Okay. Another few minutes go by. Still nothing, as it awkwardly stays quiet, almost to the point where you can hear as Rollman kind of moves about, his joints kind of slightly making sounds of snapping here and there as the bones pop and such. But otherwise, it seems to remain almost awkwardly
How's your arm
silent.
feeling, Rollman?
Like it was never cut off.
That's
Good
good.
thanks, Cinder, for that.
It's good to know that I can still reattach arms. Although, a lot easier to reattach someone else's arm than your own, you know?
Really?
Especially if
I can imagine.
I didn't have to match it up before. I had to. Well, shoving hot metal against arm you just sewed back on is very painful.
I can imagine.
But it works in a pinch.
No one's coming. There's nothing else really happening. You know what? Can I hear anything that's going on in that room?
Yeah, as you kind of walk over to where the two statues are, just getting close enough to where you can kind of peer into the building itself and look into the base and hear everything. Kind of turning your head to the side as you turn your ear to it. Give me a listen check.
This
Roman's
is that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
seeing as James goes to this, Roman's ready for bad things to happen.
Okay.
14.
James, as you kind of listen for a moment, it's eerily quiet. Then you hear a slight buzz as you see a fly kind of suddenly kind of coming out from almost out of nowhere. You hear the noise of it. And as it goes past the doorway, the sound of it buzzing goes away. And as you clue in, there's a silence spell in this entire fortress.
Of course there is. Crime Lord.
And that's why you can't hear anything, James, as you kind of look over.
Asking doesn't hurt.
No,
Because it could be
100%.
onto the front door
Now you know.
instead of here.
Oh, 100%. But as you kind of realize it and clue two and two together, you kind of start to notice as the awkward silence is almost unnatural.
Look to Syndra. How likely is it that that fly was a druid?
Good question.
I look in the direction of the fly, who is size literally the smallest. It can't
Diminutive.
and I look at myself and know that druids cannot go smaller than the size small. And I look at James like he's crazy. And I just say no.
For a moment, Syndra thinks about some ancient druid being able to do that. That is in its own right horrifying.
James,
I mean,
a druid that could turn that small could rend entire countries on their own. If that was a druid, we're all going to die.
Horrifying. Understood, but horrifying.
And I don't mean rend the country as they walk through. I mean one spell hit the entire country.
druids can get that powerful.
Technically, any training discipline can. Any casting one at least can do things that big. It's just, I mean, the power would be incalculable. You'd be well over a world leader. You could probably declare yourself emperor, and very few would be able to tell you no at that level of power.
Only ones that reasonably would be able to would be a world leader, if that. Okay. Alright, well. What to do now? We're still waiting, so.
Another 10 or so minutes pass as you lot finds a few things to do. James kind of sitting down, kind of going through his ledger, beginning to balance his books. Roland continuing his stretches and battle stance preparations. Syndra... Oh, go ahead.
After stretching, I would like to practice fighting through the Pac-Man walls. Lose orientation.
Alright, I'll make a note
It's
of
actually
that.
excellent training.
Yeah, it's smart as you start practicing working on it, like tossing a couple daggers and trying to catch him with your other blade in your other hand to try and kind of prepare in case anybody uses this against you. As you start working it, Syndra. Yeah, Syndra's over carving a statuette of Black Hand out of some of the Wait, you just taking chunks of the rock and
that would be funny if he was doing that.
That would be really fucking funny, but don't.
I carry marble on me.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. As the three of you continue kind of work out this, about 20 or so more minutes pass. Finally, a total of 40 minutes pass as you see Out comes the dwarven figure again with his 3 bodyguards as he kind of walks through, wiping himself down as he seems to have a towel in hand, cleaning off his gauntlets as he does, handing it to one of his guards as they put it away in their pack and kind of looks into you lot and
What
goes,
was he wiping off?
Yeah. Let's see.
look, give me a spot check.
Okay.
Is he sweaty or?
Is he sweaty? Was it lube? Is it blood? We kind of need to know this. Double check my spot just to be safe. Nope, it's not magically increased.
35.
Okay.
10.
10. You, James, the rag being red, it's too hard to tell as you kind of watch seeing it, but your mind goes to the worst scenario possible almost immediately. Syndra, as you look over at it and see the individuals, or see the guard take the glove from him, you see for a moment there looks to be something almost paste-like of a substance that kind of catches your eye. Noticing the coloration of what looks to be a mix of brown and red kind of worries you for a moment as you recall. I think most individuals, when they're smashed or crushed together, things tend to get mixed, and colors of brown and red are the most common to find as you kind of worry for a moment. There's a couple of things this could be, however, it's too hard from the look of the cloth immediately to tell. It looked thick, though, enough to not be considered juice from what you could guesstimate.
It was only on his gauntlets.
Correct.
So he probably did the smashing, not. Okay. Just assume whatever his meeting was to kill somebody. That's fine.
And it comes walking out and smiles and waves over at you lot and goes, I do apologize. Enjoy yourselves now. They're all done with us. We are going to be back to our mission. Take care, as he turns and starts walking towards the wall. The 3 of them begin to vanish.
I feel like we're walking into a trap now.
3 of them begin to vanish, walking through the what looks to be the strange blackish fog that Rollman's kind of training in, and all 4 of them seem to walk through and vanish, not returning.
They didn't use the door.
The door's a lie.
The door's a lie. I am noting this down. I marked where they fucking went through. Well, actually, where they specifically went through, have I been through that section of the
Yes,
wall?
you've already poked the section and seen your arm
Okay.
have the same effect.
So they have some sort of item on them that lets them go somewhere else. Interesting. Okay. Is what.
Or the leader has
Item,
to.
or it's just part of the spell that they have to be released.
Well, are we ready?
Okay.
As will ever be. Let's get this over with.
As the 3 of you start walking, I assume Rollman taking the forefront just in case.
Sure.
Yeah, without our armors on and whatnot, I think he's the bulkiest.
Okay. As you step through first, Roman, as the 3 of you walk up past the statues and begin to kind of walk towards the doorway, you see what looks to be this long hallway that glimmers with silver and gold, and what looks to be a beautiful stone tile work of a mix of slate and marble, and a simple pattern to try and keep the eyes kind of continuously glancing down. A few gemstone stars here and there to kind of break up the monotony of the floor. It looks beautiful and gorgeous, and Rollman, as you step through, you not only begin to smell it, but you see the truth. All of the gemstone floor chunks have been torn up. The tiles have been destroyed. It looks like dragged through something heavy and violent. There is fresh and old blood blazoned all across the walls. What looks to be body parts of some sort of, as you look down, green skin-like creature, you immediately take to probably be some sort of goblin-like creature. Looking about, you see a couple of candelabras on the ground that have been snapped almost clean in two that are about 3 or 4 inches thick in metal. And a few bodies pinned up against the wall that have been so mashed it is near impossible to tell what they are. As you kind of step, James is kind of still waiting for you to kind of turn back and give a thumbs. Is your thumb?
I hold my hand.
As James, you see as Roman's walking to this beautiful area, like see him walk into it, and he's still standing in it. He seems to suddenly hold up his hand. A slight, what I imagine looks to be a grimace on his face at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is there anyone left alive?
Do I hear him?
You do not.
Okay, well, I won't respond. How old does this look? Does it look like it just happened, or
Give me
I'm
a
assuming
quick.
it just happened? But...
Give me a heal check. Or I'll take a knowledge, engineering, and architecture to see how old this is.
I'll do knowledge, engineering, architecture.
Okay.
That's better than heal check.
Damn.
Not 20 for 23.
Yeah, as you kind of look about, you guesstimate this to be almost rather fresh. Even the tiles breaking, the smashing of the stonework on the walls, the taking of the gemstones out of the floor. This is all fresh. These tiles are brand new and seem to be originally just recently snapped. As you don't see any sort of sorry, I'm looking for the word, like soot or dust that has kind of picked up onto it. As you look about, this looks way too fresh. You guess maybe a few minutes, hours, maybe.
Okay. Next question is any threats or living beings that I can see?
Give me a search check real quick. 15. As you look down the hallway, you do see on one of the doors to the next section of the hallway, looks to be carved into it bloodily something that reads in Dwarvish, "When does a boy become a man?" with a question mark on it. Otherwise,
fucking excited here.
Otherwise, as you look about, looking at the different or the bodies and such, there's nothing that's moving. As you check to see if any of them could be brought back from the undead, most, as you notice, have their heads smashed in, if not turned to completely eviscerated. Implying that you're sure that these things aren't coming back.
Mm-hmm. Are there still the dark fog walls, or no?
No, these are solid stone side walls.
Solid stone. And is there an exit?
The way you just came in.
There's no other one.
Not that's in clear view, no.
How strange. Okay. Feeling confident that they're not going to get immediately jumped if they come in. I will signal for them to come in.
James and Cinder, as you see Roland kind of look back at you and give you the sign to come in, you see the cautious look on his face. He doesn't look like he's...
I might sword drawn.
Yeah, I was going to say, perfect. Yeah, blade drawn, looks like he's ready to fight.
I guess walking in.
I walk in, I look at everything, and I look at Roland and I go, "You know we're still going to be pinned as the ones that did this, right?"
I just give a curt nod.
James, give me a spellcraft check.
20 plus 9. 26.
Where, James, you see it reads on the door, carved in to it with this strange blood-like substance, "When does a boy become a man?" You read also between the words a simple, what looks to be something written in some strange tongue, but you're almost immediately as you look at it, you can see it glimmer, your eye kind of glimmering a bit of golden in its color. Thankfully, no sand falling as it does. But you begin to see the words, "The Dark King stands firm."
Sindra?
Yes.
You're historically minded. Do you know of any figures known as as I will actually stop myself from saying the title or name of whatever being that is, pull out a thin scrap of paper and write it down, handing it off.
The titles are fine, aren't.
Wait, hold up. James, you said you're going to write it down?
He's going to write it down in common, correct? Not in the language you read it in?
Yes, I'm not going to reiterate and copy the script.
Whatever the fuck that is on the wall.
As James writes this down, you kind of see this, Sindra. You, for some reason, feel your heart stop beating, and there is a sudden freeze of chill in your body.
Yeah, I know.
can go ahead and explain what this
I was
is.
about to do the thing. I remember the text on the item. Don't worry. I grab James by the shoulder and pull him in and say, "Are you sure?"
I can feel my eye tingling, so I'm pretty certain.
I
Who
take
is
a
this
deep
figure?
breath. Someone has to die.
I'm confused.
Dangerous sort, enemy of the demons, not a good person.
Oh.
Although I don't know a lot personally.
Okay.
Something about enslaving the planet at some point. I think I got a... I believe, actually, I do have some information to pull it up. Notes.
You see, Cinder pulls out her big fucking binder of notes that she's been keeping this adventure, flipping through it as she sets
At
it
this
down,
point, I
pushing
think
a
it's just a
couple.
book of holding. She took and gutted a bag of holding and turned it into a fucking book.
Just pushing a couple of bodies up into a pile as she kind of makes herself a little altar to kind of set the book down as she starts flipping through
my goodness.
pages. Listen,
I
Cinder's a
got
partial demon. She don't give no
I mean,
shits.
Yeah. I got something, it's vague, from our friends Tempelis. Something
I roll
about
my eyes
some
at the name.
to revive this Dark King figure, trying to bring them back. They didn't have any details of how or why, but I think that alone is bad.
Generally sounds bad, yes.
What kind of creatures were these that we're seeing that have been plastered and smeared on the walls?
With your check earlier, you know what? I think there's enough left here because of what I rolled. From what you can tell, it's hard to tell what kind of creatures these were, but you can tell a few of them were beastmen of some sort. There's really not much left, but there's very few species that have that much fur. Could be a bear bug, or bugbear. Bear bug.
Bear
Note
bug?
Note that for later for a fun monster. But it could be a bugbear, but it's not likely as they're very rare to be found outside of Draffica. So this would have to be some very well-off individuals if they were. Otherwise, what you count amongst the rest seem to be a couple of frostbeards, some dark-skinned goblins that you recognize, dark green, and then one that seems to, as you look around, have been somewhat Goliathan sized, but seems to have been married or have chunks of large chunks of bear fur upon his body. It's kind of hard to tell what he was. Your best bet, probably a beast folk. But otherwise, that's about all you can find for the bodies splattered about this area.
Okay.
I'd like to listen to try and find anyone that's alive, maybe in another room or elsewhere.
Yeah, give me a listen check.
Okay.
I will say, as you are standing there, you do hear a wind whistle kind of almost all the way through the entirety of the place, giving an eerie, almost creepiness to it that's quiet and silent. But
37.
as the whistle kind of goes by, as Cinder begins to listen, Cinder, you do hear the faint sounds of crying coming from further inside the what looks to be stronghold. From what you can tell, it looks to be straight ahead.
I'm gonna look at James Roman, just do a sign of like stay as I'll start walking towards it.
Should I
Work
armor
on
up?
it.
I shrug as I walk
What was that, Rollman?
because
I just nod,
I just,
and I will armor up.
just like I never took my armor off 'cause it's part of my fancy outfit.
Yeah, right.
Mine's not.
James starts kind of. I assume you're tapping your ring, James, and going to be armoring yourself up just in case.
Oh yeah.
As
at
Rollman
this
does the
point, we have
same.
a chance.
All right. Can't wait for the crime boss to come back from getting groceries to see this as you two are at the entrance, and then you have to rely on James's diplomacy. Yes.
Well, remember, I have no blood on me.
As Cinder begins to kind of step forward, Rollman kind of taking a defensive stance in front of James. James kind of getting his shield out and hammer in his hand as he gets ready. Cinder, yeah, as you start stepping forward, I assume Rollman and James, you're gonna kind of pivot towards like the entrance to the hallway Cinder is going down, just in case.
Yeah, keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
I will watch our back.
Okay. All right. As you begin to step through, Roman keeping your eye on a swivel. Give me a search check just for while this is going on.
Okay.
And then Cinder, give me a spellcraft check real quick.
Yeah, I also want to ask, is it like a child crying? Or...
From what you can tell, it does sound to be young. Childlike is probably the best way you describe it, only because it's a little bit deeper. But, I mean, it doesn't sound to be a full-grown adult, is what you can definitely tell.
This is so a trap. I'm walking into a trap willingly right now, and that's fine.
All right,
Hey,
11.
It's not good, actually. Don't do
Stuck at 27. Okay. As you kind of pass through the doorway, the first thing you notice on the right is the Minor Illusion spell, where you see a beautiful artistic piece of this stronghold itself having been designed out. As it glimmers in appearance, you read the words clan or Lesser Clan Blackweed. As you kind of catch the name and looking at the design of the stronghold, you also note the beautiful magical circle that seems to be specifically emblazoned with a bit of death ore. Not enough to do an actual spell circle in this map reconstruction, but just enough to kind of glimmer and catch a wizard's or a magic caster's attention as you notice it. Kind of catching that you're in that central hallway in between the entrance and the further and the most northern end of the map. You kind of start to prepare yourself as you continue forward. As Cinder starts heading forward, James and Roman, you watch as it looks as if Syndra almost immediately is decapitated, cut before your very eyes as their head goes flying, their body goes limp, and they drop. Both of you give me a will save.
Is this against the spell?
Correct.
I will use Moment to Perfect Mind to make this a concentration check.
Oh, alright. Makes sense. 31, nice. Let's see. Damn! Roland got a 40! Jesus Christ. I mean, fair concentration, fair enough, but Jesus. Alright.
I concentrate good.
As both of you kind of focus, clearing your mind, the fog kind of seems to dissipate as you see the depiction of Cinder kind of vanish just as quickly, and as she reappears, continuing her walk down the hallway, as if nothing's happened.
I look at James.
Illusions are not fun.
Okay, he saw through it too.
She looked back at her, cat watching. As the two of you keep your eyes open, Cinder continues down the hallway. Cinder, as you finally get to the next set of doors, you read on the doors the words carved into them again with this blood red-like material that as you kind of look at it, it looks almost like it's dried blood, but, well, too old to have been here for this long. It seems strange as you kind of take a look at it, almost as if someone else put it there. But as you kind of look about it,
escape room.
you read the words in Dwarvish once more carved into the door. When does a man become a merchant? You kind of look it up and down, kind of reading it doesn't make any sense as you kind of look it up and look at it.
Are you just demanding us? Are you doing this right now? When does a man become a tidal wave? Fucking trying. I'm not a. God damn it! This is not.
Cinder becomes a Disney princess as she walks through and begins to glimmer.
A beautiful.
Yeah, and breaks out into a song that attracts all the local bunny rabbits to her that suddenly dance with her.
There better not be local bunnies in this blood-soaked place. Something's wrong.
No, I promise you that this isn't a Disney song, but that is actually kind of funny. I didn't catch that till now.
20 Almirage just come out of the fucking doors. I'm concerned.
Little snowflakes come popping out of their little unicorn horns as they cast magic. It'll be great.
Where's the crying coming from? Is it just deeper down the hallway?
It seems to be on the other, coming from the other side of this doorway. Yep.
Alright, Cinder has to play a character that she's not, a kind person. So I fix up my shirt and I'll whisper through the door.
Aw.
Hey. You alright in there, kid?
Give me a
Let's see
listen
if they
check.
Okay.
23. Okay. As you kind of put your ear up to the door after saying this quiet, just loud enough to be heard through it, but not loud enough for the rest of this stronghold to kind of hear you. You hear something on the other side of the door go. They came. They killed him. They killed them all. You're here with them, aren't you? You're one of them. And then you begin to hear something seems to rumble on the other side of the door as you kind of put a bit of pressure. Something kind of jars the door and kind of lightly taps you on the side of the head as it feels the kid has just tried to board up this doorway.
Hey. We didn't do anything. We got here and found after. This is important, alright? The people that came in before us, I need to make sure if it was them. Looked like guards, 4 snowbeards, 3 earthbeards, as you'd probably call them, and 1 snowbeard.
Yes.
Was it them?
And they let out. They opened the door to some bad people, and now they got in the fortress.
That's what I was afraid of. Kid, we need to get out of here. We don't know if they'll come back.
As you hear a loud, ear-pitching scream at that seems to echo through the entirety of the fortress as something makes a strange, wet, and then suddenly a crunching sound on the other side as you hear almost what you realize, Syndra, is a death scream.
That's exactly what I thought was about to happen. Well, I tried.
Syndra looks back at Roland and James and shrugs his shoulders.
I start pointing to the door and doing like a cut motion around my neck, so someone died and someone's still here.
Alright. Rollman,
I give a thumbs up.
As you look down, seeing Syndra assume this as kind of catches your attention. The door, suddenly one of the doorways on the left side of the room begins to kind of rattle as you and James have almost immediately your eyes are drawn to it.
I hold the door shut.
Give me a reflex check, fuck it, why not?
As I go over, I wave for Cinder to come towards me.
Okay.
Alright, and what'd you say? Reflex save?
Reflex, yeah. Let's see if you can get to it before the door opens up. Will the dice be with Rolleman today?
Will they or will they not? That is the question.
Oh, don't worry, I have a great plan.
Cinder has a great plan.
I have the greatest plan.
28. As thankfully James was prepared to kind of get out of your way at a moment's notice as you kind of push off of him using his shield to kind of push you forward. You immediately grab the doorknob as something begins to poke through, and you see gray skins, a flash of a glimmering single golden looking eye that's almost like a small light in a black chasm of the eyeball itself. A smell of something that is just like death itself as you see something, Rollman, that looks like a horrifying beast on the other side. You snap the door shut holding the doorknob. Give me a strength check, please.
Okay. Do I have any idea of what it could be?
You can give me a knowledge nature if you'd like.
Is this a gray render?
It's fucking strong, whatever it is.
I'm not gonna be able to hold this door shut, tell you what.
Well, I'm hoping you just holding it will give me time to run to you and do something, because I have a plan. It's just, it might not work as a James, to be honest, but...
13.
That's
And then you said what for the, figuring out what it is?
Knowledge nature.
Knowledge nature.
I
Okay.
don't have that one.
I have knowledge nature, but I didn't see the damn thing. So
14.
14. Well, there's one good bit of news, Rolman.
Yeah.
You've never seen this creature before. But there's
Good
also
news or
bad
bad news?
news. That means there's never been a documented note of a creature like this before, and that outright terrifies you.
New creature.
Everyone, give me an
terrifies and
initiative
excites me.
roll. Yep.
well, as I said before initiative, how close would I have been able to get?
You were so with your movement speed, without your ice skates, because you of course did cast them beforehand.
Yeah, it is currently 35.
35. That would have brought you back into the doorway of the that front room that James and Rollman are in.
I think my spell is what I wanted. Okay, so I'll do that next turn.
All right, so that's a 30 for Rollman for the initiative. Holy shit. All right, James 28. My God.
Ah!
Syndra 23.
Oh, look at that.
All right, let me roll.
Look at you go, Syndra. You're moving.
Oh, hey, good. Oh, almost twinsies.
We're all moving, boy.
You're moving.
All right, which is probably a good thing. All right, as I set that real quick. As Rollman grabs hold of the door, though, Rollman, as you take hold, feeling the door in your hand kind of clasp shut, think for a moment a bit of a reprieve as you think you have the better of the beast, as the door is slightly yanked, and you feel it's not that the creature's not able to move it, it's caught on something on the other side as it slightly tilts open, and you see a 6-foot-tall, gray-looking beast with large black horns covered in what looks to be blood, as well as one of them looking to have a goblin of dark skin fully pierced, just dangling off of it. As the
I think I
head
found what
looks at
killed
you.
these things.
Roman looks back at James and Cinder saying that, trying to hold the door shut, as Roman starts the top of the initiative.
Okay, so is the door open or not?
It is cracked open enough to stick your arm through, but as you look at the beast on the other side, you're pretty sure that creature, being huge as it is, will not be able to get through fully. Something seems to be jamming the door on the other side.
Okay, seeing as we have a slight reprieve, stay out of area of effect in case of a cone. The door's caught on something, we have some time. I'm gonna back away from the door and make sure I'm not in range of like a breath weapon.
Okay, kind of keeping your angle away from the opening. Mm-hmm. Okay, as you kind of pivot to the side. Yeah, go ahead.
I will rub some oil on myself.
As Roland, blade still in one hand, kind of takes it, pivoting to the left side of the back side of the room, closest to kind of the doorway and exit out of here to stay out of the angle of this door opening. Gets the oil off his belt and kind of begins to squirt it onto himself as he rubs himself quickly with it with one hand.
Mm-hmm. Was it been a 5-foot step to stay out of the way of the door, or okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's up another. Okay. I will activate my spell tattoo to gain another maneuver.
Okay.
That'll allow me to teleport in case I need it.
All right, and remind me, your teleport's like 5-10 feet, something like that, or is it?
It's
full
like
teleport?
50.
Perfect. Cool.
50 feet.
One mixture.
As a standard action.
Okay. As you kind of ready yourself, looking at the creature or at the doorway, watching the door kind of crack and bend as the wood is not holding up. All right, and you're gonna hold your second action, I assume, then just for the teleport, then.
That was an action.
Oh, that was the action. Oh, okay, got you. Perfect. All right. As Roman, go ahead.
Swift action, I will go into a punishing stance.
Okay. As you kind of get yourself ready, good.
Also, designate this enemy as my dodge opponent, and I will use my feat of Karmic Strike so that if it hits me, I can strike back. That is the end of my turn.
As Roman fully readies himself in combat, glimmering under the firelight of the with the oil.
Listen, the last time he half-assed anything, he fucking...
No, I know. The party almost died for it. No, I get it. As Roman readies himself, his blade in hand, kind of watching the door crack in the frame, kind of making an eerie, tearing sound as he readies himself. All right. James, as you see Roman preparing himself, a serious look of battle on his face, ready to go, What would you like to do? Looking over towards the door, you can see inside some sort of strange creature that is seemingly kind of hunched down, looking through its large horn, kind of showing this horrible viscera upon it as you watch some organs of this goblin that was pierced upon it
What?
fall to the ground.
Enlarging Rollman immediately.
As you look over at Rollman, kind of waving your hammer as a spell goes through, immediately making Rollman a size category larger as he grows.
Not half-assing things. And then I'd like to roll Spellcraft on this creature to see if it was summoned.
Okay. Go ahead. Let me see what you got.
I mean, that'd have to be a planar binding, because summons are so short-lived.
26. Well, good news is it is not seemingly a summon, as you see this creature have grabbed what looks to be a couple of chunks of food off of some sort off one of the tables inside this tower and kind of swoop it down as a few others come by, seemingly tearing at the door as it continues making its cracking noise.
So there are more than one of these creatures in there.
As you count, roughly about 3 from what you can tell, including a 4th one that seems to be standing at the door itself.
I see 4 creatures in there. I will designate them as my dodge targets, and what else can I manage at this moment? Spell-wise, not much.
Are you within
Summons.
breath weapon range with them?
You are within 15 feet of the crack of that door, so...
I'll take a 5-foot step to the side as I... Well... It's next day. I will pop Shield of Faith on myself to give me a little bit more AC.
This is the evening of last session.
I hadn't used any spells that day that involved this item, so
I'm just clarifying for you, because you said it was next day, so...
Well, yeah, this is the next day after I'd used everything off of the belt, so...
Yep. Alright.
Because this is after the hag, so I'm keeping track of things.
Correct. This is the day after, because you guys went back and went to bed, right? Pretty much after that fight.
Yep, so... Shield of Faith, so I have a bit higher AC.
Okay. As you cast Shield of Faith, your holy symbol kind of glowing around you as your body begins to glimmer with holy light. Okay.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright. As James kind of hammer in hand, shield at the ready, just out of the angle of the creature's eyesight as it now waiting for the creature to shoot a breath weapon at any time. Alright, Syndra, as you stand at the doorway into this room, about 20 feet from you is the door that you can see James and Roman preparing for as it's cracking and creaking as some creature seems to be on the other side of that.
Okay. I cast Owl's Wisdom to bring my wisdom to a 29.
Okay.
And then I cast Camouflage Mask.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh.
As all 3 of us start blending into our surroundings and get a +10 to hide checks.
Okay. All 3 of you give me a hide check, please.
I gotta check something.
I said this wouldn't work for armor. See, it's 19 plus 13. Oh, I'm hiding. That's 32.
Oh, I'm not hiding that well.
Don't worry, I got a 32.
Okay, 32, 14.
Okay, so yeah, it does apply to that. Alright. I just had to make sure because I wasn't 100% on that.
Mm-hmm.
So plus 10, then minus those. Give me a second.
Right down, yeah.
Let's see, so 12 minus 8, I have a +4, guys.
Hey, it's positive.
It's positive, man. That's something.
You might get higher than me.
Hey, you did!
Hey?
Fantastic.
This is actually good.
All 3 of you begin to slightly blend in. However, Rollman, who glimmers from the firelight still, even though his body seems to blend in, the oil kind of glimmers really well with the firelight as you kind of look on. But
He oiled up for the orgy forum.
As you watch as you watch your 2 compatriots kind of vanish, for the most part, is there anything else you'd like to do? That's your 2 spells. No. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like where I am.
Alright. As the beasts are up, Alright, first for their
Alright,
look.
hopefully this is a strong door.
Well, alright. As you
What is that?
hear a couple of strong breaths in, some sniffing at the air as the creature at the doorway continues tearing at the door, you watch as the door cracks back, breaking almost immediately in half, bending away as the creature sticks its head through, looking through. As it takes a thick sniff, and you see this heavy bovine-like skull covered in this grayish flesh that seems to droop and look almost as if it's infected. You can see it flies buzzing around it as the smell of putrid flesh and rot kind of comes and washes over the room. As the creature takes a couple of deep, wet sniffs in the air, it's almost like a cow breathing in heavily as it does, a heavy steam coming back out of its nostrils that intensifies the smell. James and Rollman, since you are within range, both of you give me a fortitude save. Actually, James, are you immune to poison or resistant?
Immune.
Oh, then James, you're fine. Rollman, please give me a roll.
Stinky.
Yep.
Uh-oh,
19.
stinky.
19. Thankfully, Rollman, you managed to hold it in as you kind of smell the scent. Almost at this point, the moment and the amount of adrenaline rushing through your body kind of distracting you from the situation as you feel some of the oil kind of drip off of you and hit the ground, hoping the creature doesn't notice. And it takes a couple of deep breaths, looks about, pulls its head back in, and then you see as two others similar to it kind of walk about. A few what look to be about 6 foot figures, about 3 of them come walking in wearing leather gear, looking to be almost elvish somewhat in appearance with their thinner and daintier appearance, but the gray skin upon them and giving away their kinship with these larger beasts. Their faces covered in what looked to be a darkened blood coloration, and their teeth almost completely sharpened and glimmering with a reddish color. As they seem to walk amongst the larger beasts and then seem to turn back and head down a corridor, vanishing. The beasts kind of sniff about and then their turn. Back up to the
Do
top.
they walk past me at all?
They do not enter into the room at all. They seem to be staying in that little, as you look in, was once a meeting room where what looks to be a feast had been set up, as you can now see a body having its head completely removed, nowhere to be seen, kind of slumped in one of the chairs, and what looks to be a older, maybe female Snowbeard, based on the dress-like appearance, that seems to give these show of looking to be a cook. He seems to be displayed on one of the walls, one of the beasts tearing at it and pulling away a leg as it chews on the meat from the bone.
Does it look like this is the cafeteria? Or
What looks to be a meeting hall of sorts, where individuals would come to eat, talk, do business, as you look about. Kind of noticing off to the left a little storage room that seems to just be slightly out of eyesight, but you can see the imprint of a door at the front of this room. Kind of gives you an idea of. But as we go up to the top of the initiative, Rollman, you're up.
Okay. I will hold my position and signal question mark.
Puts up a hook with one hand and a dot with the other as he looks at James. All right.
Pantomime a shrug back. Fuck.
Okay. As Rollman holds his action, James.
These are acting like strange animals. What would I need to roll? What could I roll to recognize them?
Knowledge, nature, or survival. One of the two.
Well, then it'll be survival, because I don't have nature.
Okay. You can give me an intelligence check always for knowledge if you don't have it.
Yeah, I'd rather go with the survival 24.
As you kind of watch these creatures move about, what catches your attention is they remind you of almost like blood apes or primitive creatures and how they move. They seem to sniff about the air. Noticing that kind of catches your attention. They seem to bump into things left and right and don't really seem to look, which tells you two things. One, they're not from the above ground. They're probably from the underground, being that they're probably like moles. Similarly, they don't use their eyes, they use scent tracking, which means they've got probably a very strong sense of smell, but seeing as you can hear almost a strangeness, like wetness to their nostrils, and that smell of rot, they're probably not doing well up here. Something may have caused them to come up, but you're unsure. As you kind of watch these creatures, otherwise, seeing their physicality, they seem to almost be like large gorillas, strong physically. The smaller ones seem to be smarter and traveling in smaller packs, a bit more agile. Almost looks like this is an organized group of beasts.
Okay, and my telepathy that I used earlier in the day, I can use that all day within the 100 feet.
Correct, yes.
Correct?
Yes.
I'm going to relay this information to Syndra and see what they think we should do, given what I'm seeing.
Okay. As you hold your action and look back
This
at
is an
Syndra.
animal,
Mm-hmm.
and I will hold my action to blast out a spell should they try to get hostile at this point.
Should they? Okay. As you kind of telepathically look and say this to Syndra, Rollman and James both turn to Syndra now, looking and waiting. As Syndra, you're up.
I'm not a druid.
Oh, Syndra's gone on mute. I think they need a moment, so we'll take a quick second, and we'll be right back for those at home. Alright, so Syndra, as James turns to you, did you catch what James had learned, or do you need me to repeat it?
Please.
James, go ahead.
They're acting in packs. They're akin to blood apes, but they seem to rely only on scent, giving them scent tracking, and they're otherwise blind. What the fuck should we do? Because they don't seem to be getting hostile with us, and they're not doing well because of the smell of rot.
And James is telling you this telepathically.
Yep, we have not spoken out loud yet.
Yep. If you missed anything, that's up to you to say, but I'm going to leave that to you.
With them being like, also
Yep.
imply that they're animals, technically, in a weird way.
That
There's
is what
some form
James
of
is
beast.
implying. Mm-hmm. Good.
Animal-like.
Oh.
Doesn't mean
Or
they are
animal-like.
animals. But
So
Could
the
be.
options there was I can try to tame.
That is up to you. It wouldn't be a bad idea, I don't think.
I will say, important
It's more your call. Do you want to kill it and get the jump on it, or do you want to try and tame the damn thing?
Important factor, James did see a hierarchy amongst these creatures. There are two groups that are working together.
Yeah, there is that. The smaller ones are more agile and seem to be smarter. The bigger ones seem to be more like the muscle.
Yeah, just make your call. I can shoot them all in one turn, or I can try to tame. It's going to take probably my full turn, either way.
Now, are you relaying this to me as well? Through telepathy?
This is both.
Yeah, I'll relate it to you too. May as well.
With the smell of rots, they might not live above ground. So getting a breeding period might just mean they'll just die later.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it to your discretion, Syndra. They seem to be interesting creatures, but we might be able to find out what they are later and get them on our own.
Are they all still in that little room?
Mm-hmm. Well, the three huge ones are. The three medium-sized creatures seem to have gone and disappeared down one of the side corridors out of eye shot.
Works for me. I walk up to the room, just off to the side of the door, and I'm just going to kind of cold the entire room.
All right. As you move forward, one moment. Okay. As you move forward, kind of walking up to the doorway, as you look at the creatures, kind of amongst as they tear into what looks to be a young or a snowbeard female, based on her dress, as they tear at her body, pinned against the wall. What's the save for your spell?
The reflex it.
All right. All right. Well, that's a -4. Yep, I figured as much.
You'd be surprised if it wasn't a fail.
All right. Yeah, spell where it's the opposite. The higher the save, the worse the spell is.
On the one that rolled twice, but I'll just assume the first one.
Okay. As you watch the room kind of freeze over, the creatures seem almost in shock as they feel the cold embrace them. All three of them almost immediately freezing solid.
And then I cast Stars of Arbondor, which doesn't do anything right now, and I'll end my turn.
Okay. So you end your turn. I'm gonna roll something real quick. Okay. Alright. As you end your turn, I'm just checking James Rollman. As no creatures are within vicinity or within reach of you, and you don't see anything that catches your eye.
Yep.
Would you like to? Either of you like to use your held action?
No, nothing's happening.
No.
Okay. All right. Perfect. As you hear the sounds of clamoring and a few things breaking, as some stone begins to rumble and the entire stronghold begins to rumble, and then it seems to go quiet as we exit initiative.
I wonder what that was. That's interesting. Okay.
Well, it's concerning either way.
Let's continue using telepathy because I'm still wary.
As Roland's eyes kind of dart around the room, watching both the entrance as well as the hallway that goes in further.
I look at the new ice statues. Anything happened with them? Because we had stuff like seem dead and not be dead.
As you look up and down, the gray skin seems to somewhat start to tighten a little bit around a very heavily muscular frame, as the golden light in their eyes used to be seems to kind of almost dilute at first, graying and seemingly dimming as it kind of dissipates, and then vanishing altogether after a few seconds. The bodies seem to go almost completely rigid, and you see, other than the flesh kind of stretching almost perfectly to where you can see now every single muscle and vein, the rest of the body seems to not react or change. The ice slightly cracking and shifting as the body shifts, but otherwise nothing seemingly happening.
Disappointing. I move further in the room and look for the 3 medium-sized things.
Okay. You look around. There's a doorway that, as you see, that goes down a hallway further down and then disappears into what looks to be a few rooms. Kind of looking down that way and then checking the room behind you, you see what looks to be a small storage room that thankfully ends in nothing as you kind of check a few of the stones in the room. Best bet, you'd guess, it's down it's down the hallway and further back into the stronghold is where these creatures fled and vanished to.
What's the play, James? We trying to get out of here or continue forward?
With what I know, we'll most likely get blamed for this should we just leave. There may still be survivors in here as well who don't know who did what. Leaving the knife here isn't and fucking off is an option entirely.
I want to keep it.
James kind of like pushes one of the corpses out of a chair and kind of sits down like thinking about this at this point.
In truth, a snap decision here the best decision I can think of immediately would be to leave, but searching for survivors and clearing our name with them wouldn't be bad either. Plus, I don't even know if we can leave. We may have been trapped here when they left.
We can check that first before we continue on in case we do need to leave.
Probably a good idea.
Okay.
As James and Roland kind of turn around, heading back towards the doorway, and the entrance doorway, looking out it. As you look out, you do see a couple people standing out there.
People.
As you kind of watch, immediately recognizing the individual from earlier, the member of House Bronzebeard that had said hello, seems to be kind of standing there, looking as if he's waiting for something. His 3 bodyguards seemingly kind of standing off to the side, 2 of them talking to each other, another sitting on the ground eating what looks to be some sort of food in like wrap.
What's the play, James? You go confront them?
Can I sense motive them again?
Yeah. When you turn together.
What they're waiting for?
Sure.
Yeah, we might go with your route if I roll poorly here because I'd rather not get shot. God damn it, my sense motive. I'm worse than Domnander.
I mean, you left on pretty good terms, James. There's a good chance that they may have forgotten something and are patiently waiting their turn to go in and talk. Or maybe they knew about all this, given what you saw and how fresh this was, as Roman kind of showed you. That they are just waiting to see if this is to clean you up.
There's a missing 2, but 14 probably doesn't change that.
Does not change much, sadly. No.
Sandra, do you feel like stepping out and talking to them first?
I'll just nod. I'll step out.
Maybe start with a cover story, and then we have no idea what's happening here.
No, I have a feeling, and I'm gonna try something.
All right.
No
sound can pass through, so
I'm gonna see how they react when I just step out.
okay. Signal to us if you need our assistance, because no sound can pass through.
Gotcha.
Now, out of curiosity, Syndra, are you gonna make sure there's no blood or anything on your clothes as you walk out?
Oh, the only blood should be on my boots, which I can just ice shape and basically have the blood drop off.
Okay.
Uh,
I was just making sure. Okay. Yeah.
Nope.
As you head outside, kind of as some ice kind of crinkles off your boots before you walk out, stepping out of the silenced bubble. As you do, you see as the Snowbeard kind of is standing there and looks over at you, and one eyebrow kind of raised and goes, "Oh, Syndra, was it? I think."
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is James still around? I apologize. I had my men look into him, and I was curious about wanting to know something about him. Little dealings, if you will, I was a little bit interested in.
I can take 2 in a minute. There's no problem. He's currently doing something, though.
I do appreciate that.
I'm curious, how did your dealings here go before us?
Quite well. Talked for a few moments, discussed a few business dealings, wrapped up a few things. He said he had some urgent call, some noise was in one of the back rooms, some knocking. I assumed it was his wife. He mentioned he had the kid around. Young boy, great kid. So we headed out. Why?
So, not only did I never introduce myself, you're telling me that everyone in the fortress died in the few seconds between your meeting and ours?
They died? That'd be unfortunate. I mean, it'd be like they were messing with some sins or something of the sort. I'd hate to get involved in something like that. As he kind of gives you an eyebrow raise, and you start to notice his magic is starting to glimmer as an aura is starting to appear around him.
That's what I was afraid of, is I'll cast first. I still have Stars of Arvandor floating around my head.
Oh, shit. Alright, let me roll.
Does this count as a signal, or did Syndra not signal us?
The signal's about to be an attack.
Oh, okay. I probably would get that.
That is the signal.
Alright, you're still enlarged, luckily, because this didn't take very long.
I will
Are any of these
note.
people, are any of them evil?
Give me a moment. One sec. What? Yes, one. Yes, some of them are.
Well, the evil ones are about to not have fun. So, if they're evil, all the damage is lethal. If they're not, only half of it's lethal.
Okay.
So let's see. What's my... And this is a touch attack, I believe. These stars one on a target. Yeah. Range touch attack. Okay, cool. So let's see.
I will need a spell resistance check for this.
Okay. I have to roll 4 of these.
Oh no.
It's individual based on each of them.
Yeah, I'm shooting 4 orbs separately. Let's see. Do it like this. That is a 24.
Okay, 24. Barely makes it, but does.
That is a 26.
Yep.
That's a nat 1. So no for that one.
Nope.
And not that one either. So 2 of them.
All right.
So, does a 23 hit touch AC?
It does.
Okay.
Shockingly.
And a nat or 34.
That does as well.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
And these are roll to hits, so that's a
Ooh.
E.
See if you
You get crit.
that'd be fun.
As long as the 27 is their touch AC, then yes, I can.
It does, yes.
That one's gonna hurt, I assume.
Not really. So
Oh.
it's a lot of these are meant to hit somebody in quick succession. They don't do a lot individually.
Let's see what we got.
Not as much as I would have.
Alright, 11. And what is that?
It just says lethal damage.
Oh, okay. What's the spell?
This is Stars of Arvondor.
Stars of Vondor.
Less damage, perhaps.
Let's see. Wow, I actually spelt it correctly on the first round. I'm shocked. And it really is. Non-evil target takes 1d8 points of damage. Do evil. Oh, it's I think that if it's evil, that means it's good align damage. There.
Because the spell is good. The spell's good force.
No, it is. It's just it's force because I see that it's the stars are magical force. Okay. All right, cool. So the is the foam. Yeah. All right. And that's each individual, or is that all three?
That is just the leader.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect.
We'll be right back.
Yep, no worries.
And as I throw this, I just say, "You couldn't have just acted like you were good until we left. We wouldn't have cared. We wouldn't have cared."
As you end your turn with that, the surprise round, he seems to smile. And are you immune to fear?
Yes.
Okay. Just double checking. Is there anything else? Is that? Nope, that's not. Okay, cool. Perfect. Alright. As you get off your spell as a surprise action, keeping the same initiative from earlier, we're going to go back up to the top of the initiative, technically, for the new round. Roll as you see Syndra cast off a spell, immediately want a glimmering star flying forward and slamming into the chest of this the Snowbeard leader. You see as his where his body seems to suddenly glimmer and glow, his face looks to burn for a moment, and it changes to as red horns begin to pop out, his face beginning to glimmer red,
Cool.
eyes kind of glowing as they do, his beard blackening and shortening, and large black tattoos kind of showing themselves forward as his armor kind of comes out, and he seems to give a deep reddish smile as his teeth glimmer. But it is your turn.
Okay, how far away is he? Since we're still behind the silence and stuff.
Oh yeah, because you guys are still in at the doorway entrance. He would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet from you exactly.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and charge.
Charge! Alright,
Charge.
let's go.
I'm gonna run at him. As before I go, I'm going to use an immediate action to go invisible.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm invisibly charging at this man.
I have bad news. Your invisibility doesn't do anything as he has tremor sense.
Man. Tremor sense? Gotcha.
Yep, up to 60 feet. So, now that's assuming you are. I was gonna say. I don't think your boots make you flutter, if I remember correctly.
No.
Okay.
I could fly if I wanted to. Tremor sense also. Does that let him know exactly where I am?
It is. It lets him know sense the location of anything within 60 feet that is within contact with the ground. So yes, he will know exactly where you are.
Oh, but I'm still invisible to his sight, so
Yes.
it's not giving him an outline of where I am. So he still has a mischance against me, right?
Correct. Yes, it's just the fact. Yeah. So it's just the he knows where you're coming from in a sense.
He knows where the bottoms of your feet are.
He knows where the bottom of my feet are. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and charge at him.
Well, let's see what you got.
Let's see what I got. So that's just base. Okay. First swing. The 29 to hit.
29 does hit.
Okay. Second swing.
That
25
hits.
to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Third swing.
Roland just comes charging out like an anime swordsman. One blade in
Yes.
each in his mouth and like a blade in each hand. Yep.
2 to hit.
That hits.
And then one more. Not likely to hit though.
Nope,
That's
that does
not
not hit. That's a nat 1. Are you gonna lose your arm again? No, okay.
No, we're good. I would have cried.
We would have been.
I mean, the second
so
time you've cut your arm off in the excitement, it's like, oh my
So,
god,
3
I'm
successful
so strong.
hits.
Yep. Roland's become
Okay.
so powerful, his own body can't keep up with him.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put it all into 1.
Okay. So the clumsy fourth strike comes down, and kind of as Roland's arm is already jarred from the amount of the impact from his strength.
The momentum.
Causing his arm to kind of almost like buzzed, miss the strike.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Plus. Sorry, give me a second.
No worries. As your blades bounce off his claws as he kind of almost unleashes them immediately. Long, glimmering, crystal-like gemstones upon his hands.
3 plus. Okay.
Oh my god.
109 points.
Is
of
that-
damage.
Is that all? Okay, you
This
got it
is
split
all
up.
magical slashing.
All right, that's all. That's all 3 attacks.
Yes, that is everything.
All right, give me a second.
God, what I wouldn't give for you to say no. It's only attack 1.
So that's 34 points of damage.
Okay.
As you slash into him one after another, your blades kind of bouncing off, not managing to cut into anything as he laughs almost maniacally at you, smiling as he goes toe to toe with you, cutting as well. Your blade cutting into him as it does, managing just barely to leave small nicks here and there as you feel a stronger impact on him.
How much minus you say? Minus 34, is that what you said?
No, you only take. He only takes 34 points of damage.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
And out of curiosity, are you a fear immune, Rollman?
I am not fear immune.
Please give me a will save.
Okay.
As you charge up into him with these blades going flying.
Plus
13. As your last hand kind of slips, you lock eyes with him almost immediately, and as they seem to glimmer, you see this golden light kind of coming through the red as it locks in and causes a sense, and you see your death, the same as the Odger fight, kind of flowing back through you, watching James yourself be cut down in an instant by this creature as you are shaken.
Okay.
As you, James
note
and Syndra look over and see Roland's knees are clacking and shaking slightly, though he is trying to stay strong as his eyes are determined. All right.
That's my turn.
As Roland ends his turn, waiting, ready for this creature, worry in his eyes, slightly just concern in his body language. James, you just watched Roland charge out there like an anime hero and turn into a whirlwind before realizing that death is upon him. What would you like to do?
I'm going to be casting spells.
All right.
Because melee is the bad idea for me.
Yes.
Dude, this guy has DR 25. I don't think you could hurt him.
Yeah, yep.
No, but I can hopefully weaken him. I don't think I actually can with spell resistance like that. God fucking damn it.
Dude, I was rolling high to pierce his spell resistance. That was like a
Yeah,
16
I'm not
and
gonna
8.
hit him. I have literally nothing I can do to touch him other than maybe my eye.
Then be the buffer man that you're always meant to be.
Yeah, buffing. Woo.
James staring at this thing, watching you shaking in fear, and it's like, yeah, buffing. Uh-huh.
I've already buffed you. I can't buff you further currently, other than... Actually, I got one thing.
He's 20 feet in
Bam!
front of
Take
you.
protection from evil.
I will say, is protection from evil verbal?
I'm casting
that's
it
a
from
good
the
point.
wand, so no. not
Let me...
If it is, I can step out and cast it.
I don't think one's... let me double check.
I think the spell is stored, but you're still casting the spell.
Cast
I
in
think.
from a spell usually that doesn't... I'm reading real quick. Because I actually have never had to look this up, I'm going to be honest. I never thought about this, what component it takes. Okay.
It wouldn't make sense to me because non-casters can use wands.
One may be used
Like,
while
why
grappling
would
or
they
less
know
full.
the components?
So it's not, I mean, it doesn't state it's a vocal, so I assume for, like, it's component-based, because it would be the component. Yeah, so I'll say it's component-based. I think that's fair. In a sense, because it just burned the components inside the wand to activate the spell. So that's fair. So no, not allowed to activate. Okay, cool.
Yep, so protection from evil.
Okay.
I will get that because I didn't have a gold up, so I didn't think I'd be using it today. God.
Didn't think you'd be fighting
You
the
have
creature?
an additional bonus 2 on deflection bonuses and +2 on spell saves. These are only effective against attacks made and effects from evil creatures.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright. As you cast one spell, you have another action, James.
Yeah. I'm worried about casting that on Syndra because I don't know if that's a good idea.
So Lisa just vanishes and like, oh well, I guess she's protected
okay.
against evil.
I gotta put. You can cast on other evil people. It protects them from other evil people. It doesn't do anything to the guy you're hitting.
No.
Well then, yeah, Syndra, protection from evil. Fucking take it.
Oh, that'd be funny as shit. You're protecting evil someone and they start getting weak. Oh
Well,
wait,
It's a damage spell.
If they were like possessed this entire time, this would be a bad time to
That's
find
what
out.
it does work again. Well, that's yeah.
Let me actually check
It would
something.
suppress the possession.
Because
Dude, if I'm possessed,
I...
I would
The true
know.
Syndra, it will appear.
Dude, I don't even know if I'm possessed. That'd be crazy.
I'm just gonna check something real quick.
Your heart is
This whole-
possessed, Syndra.
This whole time, Syndra never existed. The moment I became a woman, that my soul went away. A new person controlling this body the whole time.
Oh no, okay, so for wording specifically, it words from attacks by evil creatures, from mental control, and from summoned creatures. So in this case, no, Syndra is not considered affected by an evil beast.
Yeah, you're not being mentally controlled. Gotcha.
No, yep, that is confirmed. And good news on that. Yes, James takes a moment and realizes and kind of takes a breath as he sees the spell go off and nothing happened.
Woohoo!
James, a fist pump to the air for a second as he watches, then looks back at Roman, seeing Roman shaking, and goes back to the concern of the fight. All right,
Yeah,
James.
that's all I can do.
All right, as you end your turn, Syndra, you are about 10 feet from these individuals. 5 feet from Rollman, who kind of stands in front of you and to your right slightly. These guys are the leader, seemingly having put Rollman into a fear stance without having raised really any sort of weapon other than just blocking him. What would you like to do?
Looking at this man who mentioned the sin, do I feel hatred from the ego of my heart towards any of these men?
Actually, that reminds me, I gotta read your item. Remind me what your item's called again?
Oh,
it's the Moaning Heart. Yeah, no, I remember.
Let us see.
There are
Does
certain
Syndra
abilities-
go nuclear?
There are certain abilities I can only use on certain people.
I forgot about that. Yeah, let me check that.
Because if this guy's related to the Black Crown, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean,
Right
it
about
sounds like he is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm hoping with what he wrote on the wall. Well, he has to be the offspring of the Black Crown, which is a very specific. Which I think that's just Domnander. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh man, really?
I
You're
think
really
so.
funny.
I have an internal effect for a Sunday character, which will never come in handy. But
And that's Og, right?
What?
no,
No.
No.
It's not Og.
the Black King from the Clouded Age,
Gotcha.
ancient slaver giant.
So, no to the first part. You don't get your awesome spell.
Ah,
This guy. Oh wait. Well. So yes, this guy is stronger than you with your item. You do recognize that immediately, but unfortunately, you don't give a shit. As this is one of the two that needs to be purged.
Do I know which?
Your item does not tell you that. It just gives you. You just get the sudden hatred
Well,
for the
actually,
individuals.
No, I know who he fucking is because he mentioned sins. He's a fucking Zond. He's a
Yep.
fucking Zond bastard.
As you look at him, you do definitely get a hint of hatred. So you do see Syndra's appearance grows angrier as she's looking over at this individual.
Oh, Syndra's angry.
Well, I may as well hit them all at once, right? I may as well.
Up to you. Rollman
Sure.
is standing in front of him, but beyond that,
With at DR 25 and Spoden, I think this is the time to use my hard spells. I'm gonna be honest.
it's true. That's true. You're gonna use them.
So I'm
Now's
just
the time.
I'm just gonna like Kona cold because I think from where I was standing, I should be close enough that I can like put my hand out and not hit Rollerman.
Yeah. All right. And are you just
Yeah.
aiming at him specifically?
Well, it's a giant cone. I think I'm hitting him and his friends.
With how? Yeah, roughly about. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. All right. Reflex saves. You said.
Yeah. Let me just roll the spell resistance, although it has a plus 15, so I like my odds. 27.
27 succeeds, and I will need a spell resistance for the 3 guards, so I'll need 3 more.
They all have spell resistance.
They do. However, theirs is much lower. And if you have a plus 14, you have to really fail. Go ahead.
I have a plus 7, plus 15.
Oh, yeah, you have to really fail.
I rolled one lower, it's 26.
Succeeds?
That is even higher. That is a 32?
Yep,
Yeah, 17.
succeeds.
Yeah. And that's a 33.
Okay,
going
you're
higher.
good. Yeah, you're good. All
You're wasting all
right.
your good rolls.
I know, right? All right, let's see what you got.
Roll some good cold damage.
That's the hope.
Kick his
The
butt.
hope definitely to do good cold damage.
Whew, 48. Alright. So, I have bad news. He takes no damage. As he is
cold?
As he is cold immune. Oh, wait, no, because you have, do you have...
He takes half damage.
Because you've got, you got the Hoarfrost. I forgot about that.
I probably scare the shit out of him by hurting him with cold.
Alright, so that'll be half. So, let me see. Divide by 2. 24. Ooh, that is going to be chilly, as that you definitely caught his attention as the ice hits him, smacking into him. The guards are not, so unfortunately, they're going to take that full damage.
I will note, because I don't do this spell often, the ice is pitch black instead of ice colored.
Okay.
Cold. It's black ice.
Yeah.
As the black ice shoots out, kind of frosting, Roman, you feel the chill even from where you're standing as it kind of passes by you. The guards behind, immediately as they get caught, their armor stiffening, and you see as their bodies are like almost hardening, you can see as their skin begins to crack on their bodies and the bits that seem to kind of show. The portions of metal on their chest plate from their half plate seems to stick to their chest as they seem to kind of give a light scream under their breath, trying to keep it quiet as they try to flex, and the armor cracks and pulls away their skin. However, the leader, his eyes seem to kind of, as it hits him, though it seems to not do much as his body almost steams from it, he immediately locks eyes with Syndra, glaring an intense glare as he does.
Well, don't worry as I start to cast again.
Alright.
And I will speak and say, I'm going to gift your fucking useless Zonde heads to my leader.
Ooh, let's see
I know
what you got.
Day is.
You can roll me a knowledge nobility if you'd like.
Well, you've seen you saw the weapon with Zonde printed on it from James's.
Yeah, Zond protects.
You did.
Oh, that's fair. Never mind.
And I kept telling you guys, oh no, it's a group of people, and you kept saying, no, it's just a title for monsters. Fucking fuck you guys.
James got the wrong translation, that was why, and so he was sticking to his guns.
All right,
And
let's
I've even said multiple times, I'm not sure about this.
Yep.
No, you kept telling me no. Let's see. Spell that's a 30.
Succeeds.
It's 25. We're going lower now. I don't like this.
All right. Succeeds.
That's an 18. I rolled a 3.
Succeeds on the guard. Yep.
Oh, thank God. And I rolled a 2. So
That's a 17.
yeah.
You succeed on the guard.
Oh, you did.
I did tell you for the guards you had to roll really low. He has a very good SR. The guards do not.
I can tell. I thought I was gonna fail.
Woo! As the ice kind of goes off once more, slamming into them as it freezes solid the guard's armor once more. Them screaming out a bit as the armor seems to almost completely break apart. However, they still stay standing, as well does the leader of their group. As he kind of stares at you, his armor freezing solid as he doesn't even seem to phase him as it steams and melts away.
This is your last day on this planet, as I'll end my turn.
As you end your turn, he is up, and he is going to smiley take his first bit of regen back.
He's regenerating.
That brings him up another 20 points as his body almost completely starts to steam and his cold seems to, where it cracked and tore away the skin, seems to reattach itself, and he seems to smile, almost giving a deep laugh as he looks over at Rolloman. And Rolloman, I need a will save.
Oh, okay. Is he evil for the?
Yes, correct. He is evil.
Cool. That brings me back to normal, because I'm shaken.
Yep.
Okay. 17.
17. Let me make sure for my DC. You do fail.
Okay.
I'm just checking. Alright, as Roland, you find yourself suddenly in an open field of sand and nothing but desert for miles, a purple sky overhead, and nothing around you.
Oh, okay.
As James and Syndra, you look and see Roland vanish completely from this plane of existence.
Where'd I go?
That's not good.
Roland, do you have a knowledge planes by chance?
Let me check. Knowledge planes. I do.
Cool, give me a knowledge planes check. Well,
7.
good news! You know where you are. Bad news, this isn't supposed to exist. Welcome to the dead realm of Pandemonium,
God damn it.
Oh.
where nothing exists and was mythos to be a place the gods tried to make once before, the lawbearers, if you will, and failed to make anything and left this as an experimental place. Nothing is here.
Okay.
As you look about, but as it's still his turn, he is going to look over and smile at Syndra and go, as a free action, and just like that, your muscle is gone, and now you will find yourself just as pitifully dealt with. As he smiles and ends his turn, growing a size category, and now at large.
Large.
Look, I know a bug's not trying to talk to me right now. I know.
Is that what he is? Is he a bug?
Syndra and James, give me a spellcraft check real quick. Okay. 38. James, you don't recognize the spell, but you're sure Roman was just tossed off this plane of existence. Kind of catch as you kind of note some of the magic he used. Kind of something catches your attention to some of the abyssal language he speaks when he casts, but you don't catch what the spell is. Syndra, as you look this guy up and down, you don't recognize the spell, and the spell isn't what catches your attention. This individual just got stronger. His magic almost doubling in power. he's not at full strength as you're staring at this guy, and he is fully unleashing piece by piece some sort of barrier system that's making him stronger as you watch. As you recognize his magic growing good, yeah.
Did I see it? Do I see a way to like reverse it?
Uh,
I always try not to see it.
Not with the spellcraft, even with 38, you are not sure, as you've never seen magic like this before. But you're almost the only thing you are sure of is he's maybe at 10-20% of his actual strength, from what you can see.
It's an impossible fight. Okay.
Right as his guards are up, the poor gentlemen on the lowest HP and who are spitting up blood with shattered armor are going to run forth, keeping about a 10-foot breath between them and Syndra, and going inside for James. As they walk the 25 feet up to James, 30 foot for one of them, and each of them is going to, in a almost triangle-like format, to begin to surround James, clubs in the hand, and begin swinging. Good news, James. They can only hit you once each. Bad news, James. They hit hard.
None of those hit.
But I can't roll for shit. Alright.
Boys, you can only hit me on a crit right now.
Oh my god. James really doesn't want to be beat. James, as you feel like a pinata, the club smacking into your armor, bouncing off of you. You're not taking any damage, but it definitely doesn't feel good to continuously just have someone smacking into you.
Does everybody feel the need to gang up on me?
As you look at them with a grimace as they have continuously ready and smack into you, the metal clanging deeper into the fortress. Alright. To the top of the initiative, Rollman. As you look about the empty desert and vast field, what would you like to do?
Is this like a ongoing effect that's giving me here?
From what you can tell, I mean, it seems to be that for the immediate effect, you can give me a knowledge arcana roll if you'd like.
I'm smart. Knowledge arcana.
Watch you crit again. Almost.
22.
Almost. You do recognize this. It does seem to you like you are under some sort of spell effect keeping you here. You feel your body slightly fading even now to the plane itself.
I'm gonna do something then.
Uh-huh.
As a standard action, I'm going to use Ironheart Surge.
Okay.
When I use this maneuver, select one spell effect or other condition currently affecting you with duration of one more rounds. That effect ends immediately.
You bastard.
I am back and I'm pissed.
Reappears suddenly. The banishment spell deactivating immediately. I only have one of those, you bastard. God damn it. As you reappear standing in front of the guy again, as he looks over at you and kind of gives a slight smirk, his size now looking you in the eyes as he kind of stares at you. His men being now inside the stronghold with James, though you can't see them, unfortunately.
As I mean action, I'm going to rage.
I'm fine. They can't touch me.
James or Rollman, as you rage, anger going through. Does that get rid of shaken?
No, it doesn't. I'm still shaken, sadly. I was going to use that Ironheart Surge to get rid of shaken, but I can't because I used it.
Yep, understandable.
It's okay though. And then I'm going to go into. Give me a second. I gotta find it.
This man's about to learn that he probably shouldn't poke us.
A dervish dance. So I gain +1 to slashing weapons for damage, attack rolls, I believe.
Alright, as Roman begins to sway side to side like a crab, kind of dancing about to
and I also am able to move and full attack at the same time. So I'm going to dance around this man and slash him.
Alright.
So give me a second. I need to add up my bonuses. Because Ironheart Surge also gives me +2 to attack rolls for the round.
So it's taking off the shaken effect basically for now? Okay.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yes.
I'm gonna double check something while he's doing that
because I'm about to beat you like a pinata.
Well, there's that, but there's also
The fact that the guys that ignored Syndra decided to go after you because they didn't want to fight the scary lady with the ice spells.
Oh, I'm not worried about them. I think I can actually kill all of them next round if
They're
I
gonna
chose to.
They're
It's fair.
fighting me and they're gonna like it. Damn it.
Oh, you're gonna like taunt them? Give me a
Syndra getting Odger flashbacks like, God damn it, why does everyone
After that,
ignore
I'm just
me?
gonna be using my most powerful spell. Roll them and go.
The spell Rollerman?
Yeah,
Get
I
ready.
love that spell. Do I get a minus to damage
it's a
with
first level
shaken?
spell.
No, I do not.
I don't think it's damaging. It's just hit.
Yeah, it's just attack rolls. Okay,
Yep.
cool. All right. As I move around him, he does get attacks of opportunity if he wants them,
Give me a second.
because I'm moving through his range.
Yes, I'll use them actually. I will use it for this one.
After the first one, I will see if I continue to go around him,
Yep, I got you.
just so you know.
Alright, well, let's see. That is a 21 to hit, Rollman.
Give me a quick second.
Yep.
Okay. That's to hit you. And 21...
31 hits.
Does not hit.
Oh, wow. That's a shocker.
I have an AC of 22.
Nice. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, as you manage to kind of parry his claws away, continuing your strikes. Go ahead. 31
Okay,
hits.
so the second one... After the second one, he gets another attack on me. If he wants.
Opportunity
Actually,
attacks. Yeah, he only.
Opportunity attack.
I
He
do
only has one?
not. Yep, I don't have any bonuses for it, sadly.
Cool. And I will do the rest of these. 36 to hit.
36 hits, alright. Ooh.
Hold on.
Man, those nat ones are killing you. Alright. The third one
I swear.
misses? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, dude, it's always the third one.
I know.
That
That's
hits?
the last one. 28 hit.
Yep.
Okay, so 3 hits again.
Yep. Sadness when you have to
I'll
roll
combine
a
it all
2
into one,
to
as I did.
miss.
I'm just gonna find my old roll because it's just the same, plus a little extra. Where did I put that?
That's a good question. As Rollman's spinning dance goes on, the crab rave music suddenly appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah. Plus, and then
You know, I see Rollman as the kind of guy that
Extra
listens
9.
to like the most girly anime music to go work out, like the Magic Girl anime intros.
Yeah.
95. All right.
95.
Fantastic. As you slash into him, so let me take that, and that's 3 attacks.
Yes.
Okay. Noting, looking at your damage. Okay, so he'll take 20-ish points of damage. Yes. As you slam into him, your blade clashing against his armor as he just yawns, smacking away your blade almost every time, though each time you manage to nip and cut small pieces of him as they begin to add up, bits of this blackened blood beginning to ooze from the wounds each time. Alright.
That is my turn.
As you end your turn, Rollman looking on at him as he's continuously kind of breathing slightly heavier, a few cuts here, a few tears there, but he looks to be still somewhat fine as he continues his fight. All right.
Okay.
James, you're surrounded and being beaten like a piñata.
Yeah, this isn't the first time. It's not going to be the last time, and I'm not too worried about it, honestly.
And compared to the Flame Brothers, this is nothing, as you're not being fireballed for once.
Yeah, my question is, just looking around, how close to death are these guys?
Each of them, they look like they're breathing quite heavily. There's some pretty heavily wounds in them, and most of their armor is somewhat shattered or in disrepair. They don't look to be doing too hot. You can give me a heal check if you want to try and get a bit more precise.
And there's 2 of them?
3.
3. Okay. Oh, don't really want to keep getting hit, but helping Rollman would mean more. I have to check something, because I might have a way to kill them all.
Yeah, do the equivalent of beating children to death. Yeah.
Oh no, this is gonna be worse.
Beat up
I'm
children.
going to be a true asshole.
Your children have a +11 to hit.
Yeah, that's a child, all right. That's
Child's big ass arms. Fucking Bam Bam from
There's a-
Flintstones.
In range, and
There's
I
a
don't see.
witness here to be threatening, and it's called being able to hit James, and you're not. So
You know what? Fair enough.
That is the litmus test. Is you have to at least hit James.
Yep, I got you. All right, James, what you feeling?
Okay, nope, I do have it. Okay. Using a wand. Okay, I can't do it then, because I don't think I can hit that use magic device.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I don't have the spell yet. I was gonna chain lightning, but can't do
Ah,
that. I keep these wands for me on me for a reason, but well, scorching rays. I'll hit the 2 that are in front of me first with the aiming this.
okay.
So first,
Go ahead
do
and
they
give me
have
some
spell
spell
resistance?
Yep, all 3 of them do. And scorching ray
Wand.
is that fire damage?
Yes.
Okay, making sure.
It is a scorching ray of fire.
You never know. It could be
11?
holy fire. 11
Yeah,
does
you know.
not.
nice.
Nope.
And 10. All right, time for my best
Got that-
spell. As I need to double check it real quick, just to be safe, because I may need to just walk out.
What was her name from Baldur's Gate? The gal that everyone calls Shart. Shadowheart.
Shart.
Yeah, because
Shart.
she can't hit shit with her spells, and poor James is getting the same thing. She's a cleric, dude.
Look,
it's
it's
funny
a
enough.
cleric curse.
It is. Scorching ray never hits at all.
I need
Alright.
to make sure he can't hear me. It does. Okay, well, then I guess I go for the bonk because I can't.
Okay.
I'm just gonna beat him with a.
All right.
Yeah.
Does your 2 scorching ray shots fail?
Yeah, as I bonk one of them with a hammer, I'll bonk the one that looks the most that I perceive as the most hurt in front of me.
Okay. Wow. That does hit.
Let me
James
see
hit?
something.
James
Oh my
hit
God, no.
It's a
something.
miracle. It is-
Crit range for a
it
light
is-
hammer.
Is Judgment Day.
Truly. Now you're gonna watch as Rollman suddenly just gets crit confirmed by this demon before
no.
James's eyes.
Oh, I don't want to.
Huh? That was your head. Well, now it's over there. I mean, great. As Rollman gets to watch as all of his friends die, and his eyes slowly close.
Here we go. Okay, no, okay. It's just didn't crit, but I hit. Okay, this is fine because I actually get a good damage.
Damage them. Do damage.
Let's see what you got. All right. As you slam into them and do not break their DR.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me confirm. Does your hammer do good damage?
No.
Then okay, yeah, okay. As the hammer smacks into the side of the armor of one of the guards, the shatteredness of it kind of moving and limping and cracking away. As the guard looks at you and just looks at the hammer and then looks back at you, and you can just see just the surprised look in his eyes.
It's gonna be 2 pianos fighting each other.
The difference is I can actually hit you. You want to see me do good damage? If not, run.
As James cannot intimidate worth a damn when he fails to hit. All right,
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Syndra, you are up. Well, I also have a plus 15 to sense motive, so I doubt you can intimidate me.
He's bluffing.
It's true. Flashback to the deserts. Hey, Cameron, we should make good damage weapons for rolling because we keep running into demons and such. Right after the Abishai fight, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a little flashback.
Yeah, our good damage
He
weapon
has
was
a
one
thing
of
of a
those.
live weapon.
Suddenly, as we cut back in the scene, it goes gray, and like Sindra looks over at James for a moment, or rather, Rollman looks over at James for a moment, flashing back, remembering this sudden vision as we see the party fighting the Abishai in the desert, trying
I
not
have
to
scrolls
die.
of a line weapon.
You do?
I don't have them on me.
Nope, they're all with James, I believe, on the ship too, technically.
Oh, so you think he can use a scroll of a line weapon?
Yeah, man.
You know what? That one's fair. That one's fair. But
All right, but Sindra, as the flashback ends for a moment and comes back to you, looking over, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna try something comedic. Why not?
Okay.
Let's see. Plus, it's a 29 beat of spell resistance.
Let me double check. With his boost, it does, just barely.
I need a will save.
Oh,
Wisdom.
fantastic.
How wise are you?
Let's find out. 23.
The DC's 24.
The dice are on your side tonight.
And guess what? Hibernate.
Ooh,
Oh,
what does that do?
go to sleep.
Suspended animation.
Wait,
Cool.
hold up. Let me double check. Cause I'm immune to magical or I'm immune to sleep. So
Guess what? I was too, and it still worked on me.
It's not sleep. We talked about this last session.
so as long as you have at least 8 hours uninterrupted sleep, you gain hit points equal to twice your character. Wait, is this the spell? Oh no, that's the feat. Where's the spell? Here. Let me find.
there's a feat called hibernation.
Yes, there's a feat for 3.5 called hibernation.
An idea for a guy who thinks he's a bear.
Yeah, you put a creature into a
Have-
state.
I have a new party comp for the goblins. We are all gonna be hibernators. Let's go.
No. Absolutely not.
You can hibernate if you want, man.
Stabilizing dying, a dehydration creature affected by a hibernate spell have a slower metabolism. If the target is unwilling, is entitled to a successful saving throw negates the spell failure. Or takes damage when it's splashed by water or liquid or others when it comes through. Well, it doesn't say, like, that's the thing, that's interesting, because, yeah, it doesn't say that those who are immune to sleep, which was a thing back in the day, would be not affected.
Yep.
So, yeah, then I give it to you, technically. Alright.
Look, the rate we're going, we're not killing this guy. I'm just gonna make him lay down so we can just kill the other guys and leave.
I
Alright.
want to kill.
Do
You
you
made me go away to
Feed it
pandemonium.
Roland. Okay, I can hit them, but I can't hurt them. Get in here.
He'll
Right.
be asleep for a day, so we can go tell the chick what happened. She can just come grab him and chill. Like,
Alright. 1 hit point per slow. Alright. I'm just saying, how long is it? Fairly necessary to an additional save throw whenever it takes to. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, or when 20. Oh, fuck. Alright.
you get tomorrow.
Wait, we also have those boots on the ship. We could take him with us and just remove all his racial bonuses.
That's true.
With the
Alright.
splash water thing, I'm worried if DM would roll moving him would let him save again, because touching him.
Yeah, anything that affects the body is what it states. 'Cause
We'd
it's...
have and then come back and do it to him here.
Alright.
I mean,
Okay, well, I can also level.
As
do that.
Syndra kind of casts this, you watch as a thick, like wool, almost blue ice wool Giganston wrapped around the individual figure, the dwarf, as he seems to begin to nod off, his eyes closing as he lays down almost and starts snoring deeply. As he does, I will tell you, all of his wounds almost immediately heal fully.
Look, that's fine. I'd rather just have to not deal with him.
As he falls asleep, though, 1 sec, I do have to roll something.
night.
Alright. James, as you panic, the guards all three around you dissipate into smoke and ash, vanishing and leaving nothing but ash or wood ash on the ground.
They were
Never mind, we're good. They're
I
gone.
was gonna snap my head to one of the guards and shoot him in the back. Aww.
I was gonna go kill him.
Alright, you exit combat as the individual lays there snoozing, laying, kind of snoring loudly.
Am I still shaking, or is that gone?
Let me double check. Oh no, that continues. It does not matter, because that is for the next 24 hours.
Oh, okay. I will regain a maneuver and use Ironheart Surge to end it.
I was going to say, I will
Oh.
note, now, however, you are now immune to it for exactly 30 days going forward.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
So
We can kick his ass now.
Roland looks down with a
He is
smile.
technically a helpless defender at this point.
That's
I look
true.
at the other, and I say, do not touch him. Because keep in
Do you
mind, with
know?
the DR25, that would severely lower the save he has to make to not die.
That's true.
Well,
That's true.
if he gets coup de graced, even if he survives the damage, he has to make a fortitude save plus the damage.
As James kind of walks out here, kind of leans down, not touching the body, making sure to, but like leaning down, taking out his little like monocle and kind of inspecting the guy as he says this.
James, if you touch him, or you get Roman touch him, and he wakes up, I can't do that again.
Alright, so should we just leave then?
Yes. And we should just go tell them what happened here, and if there's a fucking Sunday demon thing that
Oh,
came
there's
in.
That's fair. Let's get out of here then. I managed to hit one of them with my fucking hammer and it did nothing. I need to upgrade this.
Cindy just nods like she didn't see it and does not believe James at all.
Just kind of staring, kind of like looking
I
at
was a
his hammer.
pandemonium man.
You were where? I have knowledge of the planes. What the fuck is that?
Roll knowledge of the plains.
Just
Fucking-
start.
Yeah, as the three of you
As
start
we
walking
walk
over
to
towards the
leave.
door, yeah. And I want to make clear, so you're going to leave the abandoned fortress theoretically filled with loot completely there.
That's true.
While he's sleeping for the next 24 hours. I will say, from what you can tell, this plane acts on the same time as the material, so. And 21, before you give your pitch, just so I can answer James's quick question. James, Pandemonium, like I told Roland earlier, was basically a realm that was made by the gods before, the creator gods, to try and mimic life, and they failed. The material plane is considered the second realm of Pandemonium. Supposedly, it is a plane where things go to die. Nothing lives there or exists.
Huh. Seems like a place if we could actually put a door to. Good place to hide.
But go ahead.
There's
Why
just a
don't-
sea of sand?
Why don't you two loot? Because I should have to go through the door there and just go through and tell her what happened. And when you go, and I'll wait like I don't know 10 minutes before I go so you can get your stuff, whatever you want, and like pack it up.
Well, there's still stuff here, right? There's still those creatures still.
I blinked and I was like and Cinder's the ones I killed in one hit. Yeah, I'm not that
There's-
worried with.
There's 3 more.
Yes,
Yeah.
but if Sindra was able to kill them in one hit, I think we'll be able to
That's
handle
fair.
ourselves.
I'm not
fair point.
I'm not very worried. I think you could kill them in one swing each.
Plus, your enlargement will last a good while.
James kind of taps your like hip to roll him in.
Let
Mhm.
want me to come with you and James to go and explain.
I don't want James to go by himself. I will stay with James.
Then, yeah, all right. I mean, like whatever configuration you want, who goes? Sure.
How about you step through and step back to make sure that you're not being, trapped or
Once
whatever
I
on the outside.
Which is why I was going to wait like 10 minutes looted. Because if they come here, we're not going to be able to take anything.
Let's go.
Alright.
Let's go
I'll
exploring.
sit for like 10, 15 minutes in this room just watching this fucking creature because I don't want anyone to come in and wake the damn thing up.
Watching him sleep, hearing him mumble about something about Rollman, and then hearing seeing him jerk, kind of making you startled as for a moment you think he's awake until you realize he's fighting in his dreams.
Oh, nice. He's crazy. Okay.
So it's kind
Look,
of calming
the other
yourself.
reason I, by the way, suggested coup de grace is because I can align weapon good his weapon now
There you go.
and bypass everything.
Coup de grace.
Is coup de grace.
Cross.
Not
But
coup. Coup.
Coup de grace.
James and Rollman, as you head inside, though, heading into the fortress once again and heading through the silent spell, what would you like to do? Where would you like to head?
I will recommend heading after the creatures we saw. That way they're always in front of us. And now so we're gonna get ganked from behind.
Okay.
As we walk, I will try to. I'm gonna try to keep an idea of what's going around us because I do have my 20 foot of earth sense, so I'll be able to see rooms that might not be easy to see.
Okay. Both of James, give me a spot check then, and Rollman, give me a search check as you two start to kind of head as James kind of follows Rollman's lead, going to the left and heading up the left hallway to find those
Damn.
creatures. Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
What you got,
putting on
James?
Glasses. 19.
19. Nice. All right. Rollman, as you're keeping your head on a swivel, kind of passing into the side room where the table was set out, the frozen beast kind of still standing there as they're still frozen solid, not moving. As the two of you head down the hallway, checking a couple of doors, James kind of moving a few bookcases out of the way and grabbing a few small things as he looks in small storages, and finds a few coin bags here and a few small little doodads and gems there. As the two of you, though, continue heading further in, you come to a small storage unit where James seems to kind of lead you towards a doorway that opens up, and as the two of you pass, you see what looks to be a little side tunnel that's not on the map that you had seen in the main hall, where Syndra had gone.
Secrets.
Huh? Good.
Secrets.
Yeah, as you look at the tunnel, it looks to be broken and cracked quite well. Seeing bits of the gray flesh almost immediately kind of stuck on the sides of the rock, and bits of what looks to be this green ooze-like blood kind of glimmering down on the ground, kind of catches your attention as the two of you pass. James seemingly looking off to the side as he looks and sees the main study of what looks to be the Black Rose himself, seeing what looks to be a huge stack of gemstones in a chest, and what looks to be a few scrolls, a wand kind of laying out, and what looks to be a rod of some sort that immediately catches your attention, James.
Do I
Don't
see a
touch
bag of
anything yet.
holding in this room anywhere?
You do not, sadly.
Don't touch anything yet.
As Rollman kind of cautions you, James,
Could be
kind of,
traps.
as you look over, seeing one of the in one of the corners a beautiful silver harp that's kind of glimmering, standing about 8 feet tall.
Let's check this side room that's on the map first.
Yes, let's search that, then come back, grab everything, and get the hell out of here.
How long has it been?
About 2 minutes. You
Okay.
kind of, as you're just really kind of going in, opening the door, James is kind of looking about and then closing it back up, not really trying to look or spend too much time on average goods. You're not digging through every individual chest.
Yeah.
No, we're looking for
Good.
things of extraordinary value, and that big-ass harp.
Yeah, James is looking for things that are hidden, because that's what the valuables will be. Like, finding a single gemstone in a thief's room is not going to be worth enough to spend the time on it. As you
Finding that pile there that's most likely full of curses.
Yes. As you kind of look at that, though, and James kind of looking about, give me an appraise check, James, and roll them in. As you are looking at the side path, it looks to be a rough cave. As you kind of run your hand across it, it's cold and very wet, and seems to lead way deeper into the darkness. Though how deep, it's too hard to tell.
This will be too high for anything that's metal.
Okay.
So,
Well, the harp you can estimate to be is worth around 12 billion gold pieces almost immediately, as you recognize some of the gemstone craft and handcraftedness. This thing is worth a lot of money, James. This is a retirement fund.
and with that, we can take it and leave. We're done.
Don't touch it yet.
I will say, you do notice a large greatsword that catches your attention that's worth about $300,000 gold pieces, and recognizing it as a +3 greatsword itself. It also, on the sheath of it, reads the Mighty Cleaver as the name of the blade. You recognize a python rod in one of the corners, kind of hidden behind a couple of books. That's worth about 130 million gold pieces. Lastly, the wand itself would be what you recognize as a wand of cure moderate wounds with a recharging effect on it. Worth about 40,000 gold pieces, roughly. And that's not to count the gemstones that are honestly worth a rough range between anywhere of like a couple, about 40 GP to a couple thousand GP. All in all, you'd guess about...
Melvin.
You'd guess maybe about 5,000 GP kind of sitting in the chest as you look at it.
Okay. I'm not gonna go
I'm
down.
probably
the
not going to
long,
touch
dark
those gems.
hallway.
It's not
Yeah.
worth that.
No worries.
I mean, other than for the crafting, I might grab them for that. Miscellaneous gems are good for crafting.
But Rollman, as you look at this thing, not kind of going down, it's too tight for you to really squeeze through easily. You're almost 100% sure these large creatures did not get through this hole.
They must have tried with the signs around it and then just backed off.
You kind of look about.
Okay.
It's a fair guess. Maybe smaller creatures were able to get through the smaller end of it. You'd be someone around James's height would probably be able to slim through if they were at least kind of a little bit leaner, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Damn, you just called James fat.
James is wearing the second thickest armor you can. Yes, right now he looks kind of robust.
This is the third thickest, actually. I checked.
Oh, are you in medium
It's
armor?
very thick.
No, battle plate is thicker than this.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Mountain plate is thicker than battle plate. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
number
fair.
3.
But yeah, James is a little bit robust right now in shape.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will look at the room and I will use all 3 charges on my scout headband to have true sight for the next minute.
Ooh.
I will
Okay.
look for traps.
Well, I'm glad you did because the chest that has all the gemstones in it is very much trapped. As you kind of notice, there is a fireball spell, a trap set to it that is simply has an ignition effect that is glimmering with a minor illusion on the chest. Immediately upon opening, recognizing it'll most likely explode with flame. The harp itself, you also do notice there is a string that looks to be almost attached to underneath it and gives you the understanding there's either a plate or something this thing's sitting on.
Okay.
Otherwise, no other traps that get your attention. Yep, that's it.
All right. Any magical traps besides that, or?
No, not from what you can see in this little hallway and room.
All right. Chest is trapped, and the harp has a weighted pressure plate. It looks like everything else is fair game. Can I estimate how much
Go ahead.
the harp weighs?
Yeah, let me pull up something real quick. Because I am not familiar. Roughly, about in silver, total about 2-3 pounds.
What'd you say?
About 2 to
It's
3
only
pounds.
2 to 3 pounds.
2 to 3 pounds.
Yes.
Gotcha. Must be a small harp then.
No, it is. This is an 8-foot tall harp. This is not, and it is made of silver, from what you can tell.
Okay. How do you want to handle that, James?
Well, I can dispel the magic on the chest that you brought up.
No,
or I can
don't
try
risk it.
to. What?
Don't risk it.
Grab
The
the
one you said
great
try, I don't want to.
Well, Rollerman, as I hold up my hammer, I can try through this. It won't
Okay.
hurt anything to try.
You don't know that.
I'm gonna go examine it since it was pointed out. See if I can see if it has anything that would activate when a dispel attempt is made.
Give me a will save as you get next to it.
Okay, is this a spell effect?
Yes. Is that 29? Okay, that does succeed. You do succeed the minor illusion. You do see the small carving in Dwarvish for the symbol of fireball. It looks to be a spell set into the chest as you kind of see what looks to be a small contraption off to the side that is basically designed to create or drop the materials needed or the components needed to activate the spell, and it will ignite upon opening.
Okay, so if I just remove the materials, it can't ignite.
From what you can tell, yes.
I'm taking the materials.
Okay. Give me. Let me double check, because that's actually its own thing.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a
Sleight of
check for
hand, yeah.
this. Let me see. No, it is not. Well, there's 2 checks, technically. The first is I will need an open lock check from James.
I have to see if that's one of the ones affected by heavy armor.
Because they are in a locked chamber, to kind of fall out, so they won't fall out by accident.
I mean, if it's locked in there, then I need
It is
to
until
just
you
lock
open the
it off.
chest, yeah.
Does it look like I might be able to slide like the edge of my axe in there to stop the items from falling.
You could try it, yeah, but even the smallest movement of this stuff going down, and it's going to blow this thing up completely.
James, do you want to risk this?
I'd like to just see how. Can I damage
not
the
be
spell
greedy.
circle?
The spell in the on the chest, yeah, you could try and crack it, but again, if you break it as you look at the contraption, it looks like it'll automatically open up. Any sort of movement on the chest itself is going to cause this thing to open and let the components fall.
All right. Well, I can't do anything about it. Then I will just move away from it. I'm not gonna fuck around with it.
James just kind of sighs, clapping his knees as he
go over to the
pushes
harp
himself
and
up.
start taking a look.
Yep. All right.
To see what I can do about the stone plate.
Yeah, you can give me if you just want to try and disable it outright, you can give me a disable device check. As you can see the string itself, as Roman kind of points it out and where it leads up to. Satan kind of pulls into a stone.
I'm going to have other issues.
You can give me a search check yourself. I don't think you have craft trap making, correct?
No, and I don't have trap sense yet.
So nope. Then,
but I do have my earth sense, which would give me at least a rougher idea of what's going on underneath.
Let me look.
Because this is solid ground.
You assume?
Well, no, that's a brick wall. As long as you are touching the ground, you can take move action to sense the number of creatures within 20 feet that are touching the ground, the direction to each one. You can pinpoint the location of any creature with the... Yeah, it's only used for, like, pinpointing creatures and such. You'd have to, like, activate this trap slightly to try or move the string to see if what would move. You'd feel the contraption moving in the ground if there is contraption.
Well, then I'll go with a search check to see first.
Okay.
Or...
Give me a search check.
Yeah.
In case something tries to sneak up on me, I do have blindsight since is needed. This is why I carry craft trap. It's true. 20. All right. As you look about, you do notice the trap itself seems to be designed with a wire system. Though you can't see what the contraption is underneath the harp, due to the size of the harp's like where it's sitting. Looking over towards the wall, you do see a stone brick where the wire goes into, and looking at it looks to be some sort of simple pulley system, just keeping that string taut. I mean, you're pretty sure as long as you can keep that string taut, the effect shouldn't go off. But if you pull this weight, or if you pull the harp up, it's going to completely like make the string basically jump back and lose all tension.
Roland, do you have anything that weighs about the same as this on you?
Indiana Jones time.
As Roman opens his pack, looking at that, mentioning a famous hero archaeologist.
I've got a backpack with water skin, bedroll, sack, flint and steel, 3 torches, a tent.
How much would a full water skin weigh? About 2 to 3 pounds?
No way.
Let me check.
Not in your wildest dreams. If it was, that'd be the heaviest water skin I've ever heard of in D&D.
They are 1/10 of a pound. Okay, no.
Yeah, bro. Good try. I will say his backpack empty is 2 pounds.
Your backpack should work if you're willing to part with it.
Do I get a new one?
We can get you a new one.
Then yeah, I don't mind.
Alright, hand it here. As I will slide
Are
the
you
back
sure? I might have better dexterity than you.
Go swap it out for the harp. Keep the string taut. I will sit there and keep an eye.
I can just step on a pressure plate, can't I? If it's already held down, correct?
I mean, in theory.
Is it all the way down, is my question.
Oh, yes, it seems that the harp is holding some sort of plate, is what James has basically found in place, so it doesn't snap back and out, losing tension to the trap and activating it.
My question is this like a range of weight needed, or is this like a fully put down pressure plate so that any weight greater than it would be fine? But
any weight greater is from what you can tell from what James has shown you.
Will be fine or not?
Yeah,
fine?
will be fine.
I'm 100% sure about that.
Yes, this seems to be 100% just a thing. The way the trap itself works is just pulling this something underneath this out from underneath the harp, pulling into the wall seems to be what activates it. Again, not knowing what it's holding underneath there is the biggest issue. But if you just stood on the string, instantly, as an example, like right, without now allowing the pattern underneath it to move out from a spot, it should not activate the trap. You just need to keep tension on that string and make it so it does not move at all.
Yep. I will then step on the pressure plate to keep it where it is, and then lift the harp to make sure I have the weight correct before I put something on that weighs that amount.
Okay. All right.
And I weigh a lot of very heavy.
Yeah, give me. Let's make it a reflex check. Let's see if you can get your foot down quick enough as you lift up the harp slightly. As you're doing this like instantaneously, so the string doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go collect the other items that don't have traps around them.
Okay. 34. All right. As you manage to get your foot down instantly, as you Roman, almost as you pull the harp up, it catches immediately as you look down, and you see something that terrifies you. Recognizing a runic spell similar to the one that Granny Apple had used to make seemingly doorways for James to fall into. This magic, there's a spell in here that looks to be more potent, but recognizing similar runes to that.
Okay.
Nothing happens as you manage to get your foot down quick enough, catching the wire just in time, or just at the right time, lifting the harp and setting it to the side comfortably.
Okay. And that weight seems correct?
Doesn't seem, as you realize, the weight didn't seem to matter, just needed to be catching the string fast enough to hold it here. Your weight is more than enough to hold it here, as you realize. The harp was just enough, or just... Oh, yeah?
Of the harp, that way we can put down the backpack and it'll be enough.
Oh, yes, you do confirm with picking up the harp. It is 2 pounds exactly.
Okay. Then I will do the same with the backpack to swap with my foot.
Okay. As you kind of do that, making it a little easier as you just kind of set it down over your foot. Let's say another reflex check as you pull your foot out from underneath it. As James begins to kind of like grabs the sword, grabs the rod, the wand, and kind of puts them away.
31.
Roman, like the bomb diffuser expert he is, pulls his foot instantly off the thing and looks down at it as it seems to hold for a second as he slowly lets go of his backpack, and the backpack seems to hold just enough, and the string keeps its tension.
All right, you do not touch the harp in case it affects magical creatures.
Roman kind of like picks it up.
I will hold
That
it.
is worth billions. If you lose it...
I don't plan on losing it. I'm holding it in my hand.
A little sad to leave that to his mind, but let's get out of here.
Do you want to grab the great sword or no?
I have it. I have the great sword, the rod, the wand.
Yep.
Okay. Then let's go.
All right. As the two of you start heading out of the stronghold, as you walk out just in time to see Syndra kind of getting herself up and dusting herself off from the sitting there waiting for you lot, as you step out, seeing her. The three of you follow after and end up walking through the door as you go to push it open. Syndra, are you going to be the first through, or is it James, out of curiosity? Or Roland? I think
Chestnut might have stepped away.
I'll be going first.
Oh, never mind.
All right, Syndra will be going first. As Syndra steps out, looking at the individual, or seeing the individual kind of standing there, she smiles, and seeing Geta almost as she turns and the door opens. A beautiful glimmer from the street lamps seems to glow as you realize it is middle of the night out almost. As she looks back and goes, "Oh, that was fast. Welcome back."
We have a problem.
She nods and goes, "Okay."
So someone had a meeting before us, supposedly. They were there when we got there.
She nods.
And we went in and everyone's dead.
Okay.
And the creature that did it is still there because it came back and I barely got to knock it out because we could barely injure the thing.
Well, alright. Well, come on through. Come on through.
James walking through with items.
Yep. With the gear in hand, rolling a harp under his underneath his arm as you James with the sword on his back and the other items with him as you walk through, and she kind of takes the key out of the doorway and goes.
Does she seem shocked?
She give me a sense motive.
I'd be gauging her response to. We kind of just stole from thieves.
Remember, she just had ties though. She wasn't part of their group.
11.
11, okay.
She might not
27 for me.
With 11, Rolleman, she doesn't seem surprised as she kind of looks at you, almost keeping her emotions completely neutral at the explanation. She doesn't seem to show any emotions that kind of give you a tell off the bat, which is kind of a little bit weird.
That is suspicious.
Yeah. James, she seems to be fully calm, collected, and almost as if she was expecting this situation.
Okay. Telepathy to share that with both Roland and Syndra.
You do. Geta kind of takes the key from the door as the three of you walk through after closing it behind you, and kind of smiles at it as she sees the black rose locket at the end of it, and kind of snaps the key in half in front of both of you, turning and tossing it to a small little forge that she has going, where she's cooking what looks to be some sort of meat on a grill, kind of watching as the gold melts away, and smiles and looks at you and goes, "Well, I guess that's unfortunate to be a member of the Black Rose Thieves Guild. You lot never met me, of course. My name is Geta." She holds out her hand and looks at James and goes, "It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time."
But we did meet. We purchased an item from you, Geta.
She looks at you again and goes, "It is a pleasure to meet you for the first time, good James."
I just shake my head.
James takes it and goes, "Yes, it's quite a pleasure. Thank you for allowing us a quaint visit."
Her smile returns and she goes, "Of course, come back any time. I have keys to all of the locals who would love to meet with you." As she kind of jangles something on the side of her hip as you see a couple of other colored keys glimmering with different designs on them, and goes, "If you need anything else from the Grey Rats, my cousin is in town, I hear, so best of luck."
Thank you so much.
Oh,
She shoos you off with that. Good.
we have a day to prep for that guy getting pissed and coming. Sure.
That's true.
Well, we've made a good name for ourselves here. It might finally be time to fuck off.
It's true.
Doing a warn Magriel of the
Oh yeah, we're warning
potentially angry
Magriel
man.
first that there's gonna be a very angry demon that killed off the Black Rose
Okay.
thieves killed,
This is
trying to kill me.
James's first mission is back to the Magriel real quick before and to get the crew ready to take off.
Just as we're going through town, roughly how good could I estimate I've made the name for myself and the company here?
Give me a gather information roll.
What are the people on the streets saying?
Exactly.
I would ask the other two to assist in this because I have no idea how well I can roll.
Why
this,
would
and
they
I
do
don't
that? You've got this.
Because this is a +1, please.
Perfect. You're a merchant. 14. All right. As you kind of keep your ears out listening into people kind of passing by a few merchant shops, there's not much that you hear, as it seems almost most people are talking about the hag situation recently. Some people seem to be speaking about Magriel having disappeared for a few days without any explanation. There's a few grumbles and gripes about some of the nobles that have come to town that have stopped in and have been spotted. The good news, you don't hear any complaints about the Ironheart Merchant Company. The bad news, you hear nothing about yourself.
Oh, I at least know I've endeared myself to a guard captain and some of the guards.
It's true. As you take a second and kind of, with that in mind, continue on your way. Heading through the town, A few comments here. A lot of nobles and their entourages seem to be kind of wandering amongst the streets as you pass by many of them. Um, and as you kind of make it to the gate, heading through, the guards seemingly letting you through without much question, you see a small, what looks to be gathering, kind of already starting to kind of pop up in the courtyard near your ship. A group of nobles seemingly cheersing each other, drinking, and enjoying what looks to be hors d'oeuvres that are served. As you recognize Magriel and a few other members of the Stronghelm clan, as he sits at a what looks to be raised up throne or pseudo throne that they have brought outside, as the people kind of just dance and laugh and enjoy themselves around your ships. Your crew, as you notice, watching from above, a few of them drooling as they watch the food.
Note to self, pick up some really good ingredients at the next stop for them. Talking premium stuff.
As you head over, though, towards the courtyard, Magro kind of seems to wave you over, himself now dressed in his fancier noble attire as he smiles at you warmly. Kind of as suddenly as you walk up to the party, a squire announcing you as James, the lord of the clan Ironheart. As the crowd gives a light clapping and then goes back to kind of menial laughter and jokes amongst themselves as Maverick kind of comes off his throne and walks over towards you.
Once I'll be greeting him vocally, but it'll be essentially I'll be greeting him vocally and giving him a lowdown of what we just went through telepathically. Since
Okay.
that is still active, it hasn't flipped yet. If it has, then I'm not gonna reactivate it.
No, you're still good. As as he walks up and as you greet him, he kind of smiles at you, and as you suddenly bombard his head with information, he just wide-eyed looking at you as he's trying to process all of this and holds his head for a few moments and kind of looks at you and goes, "And good day to you too, James. Jesus, warn a man before you bombard him with information. Oh, God."
Well, given the fact that he might come here trying to kill me or other people, warning you first was precautionary.
Yes, but bombarding my mind with panic and anxiety is not an emotion that bequeaths a merchant of your status. Oh.
There's just a flat line of, I'm always anxious.
Yeah. Leans
My
slightly.
life has been threatened so regularly that this is just natural state. This is calm. What do you mean?
Kind of pulls out a cane out of a bag of holding, kind of like leans on it slightly, looks over at Sindra and Rollerman and goes, "Your assessments of the situation?"
I mean, I don't think it's really much of your problem other than the unconscious demon? Question mark? Probably demon.
My assessment of the threat, it seemed to have grown larger in the brief absence I had. Sindra, do you think that it was his final, or was it still changing?
Oh no, that was like 20%.
Fully going all out, very deadly. Probably. Could I estimate probably stronger than Magro or about his level?
Oh,
If it was
easily
100%.
stronger. Yeah, easily stronger.
Stronger than you. No offense, Magro. At its full strength, as it currently was, I could have maybe, if I had something that was effective against it, probably could have dealt with it. But
He nods. Well, if that's the case, then I guess we have nothing but more preparations to make. Fine, I'll keep that in mind. I do appreciate your honesty on that subject, as he kind of nods at that and goes, for now we'll celebrate, and later tonight I'll make my plans for dealing with that. If I'm understanding it correctly, we should be at least buy us a few hours, as the Black Rose Guild wasn't located anywhere near here. Their stronghold was set up somewhere further towards the North Pole. Wild territory all around them, but they had linked it up with one of our storefronts as precautionary assistance back in the time. But with that in mind, I'll keep that. It'll be a good thing to look into it. If the key is broken, as James has put it, then we have time, but not much. I fear for the poor individuals will be in its way. I should probably send an envoy to the anvil, just in case. Alright. I can't reward you for your services in this situation. It caused too much of a panic, I hope you understand, but for all the work you've done, you have my gratitude, James. As he kind of pats James on the shoulder, smiling.
There's no need for reward. I'm helping out what is my homeland.
Well, I think I can give you one reward that you desire quite a lot. And that is, get the hell out of my castle. Go find somewhere else to be. You bring trouble wherever you go, and I'll be honest, I need a vacation from you more than I need a vacation from this city.
That's fair. We were already planning on heading out, most likely either tonight or in the morning. So.
Well, I've stocked your ship with fresh produce and goods. I fed your men, made sure most of them were happy, and have made sure to round up those who were willing to go back. I recommend you be out tonight. Mostly because we have rumors that an individual by the name of Alfred Stone has gotten wind of an individual known as Rolliman is in town and has been insisting on seeing him, and I can only keep him at bay for so long. We are feasting tonight in my halls. So, as you can
Then
understand...
we will be out of here as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Good man. As he pats you on both shoulders.
I will be heading to deal with the family matters that you and I talked about me needing to deal with before.
So I sent a letter of introduction ahead of time for you.
James just is looks like he's about to go to the gallows, essentially. This is not going to be pleasant for him.
The Frostbusters are a kind clan of individuals. I think you'll have a good time while you're there. I recommend laying low, though, in town while you get a chance. As the leader of them could be quite interesting.
Well, technically they don't have a leader. Grandsire's dead, and only the person that brings him back can be marked as that.
He nods at that and goes,
And
yes.
I think I'm the closest one to that.
But
Eyeing the ship.
your brother has taken up an interest in the throne over there.
I will deal with him when I get back then.
He nods. Kind of as he lightly pats you on the back and goes, drink if you must, but I understand if you're on your way, as he turns and heads back to the party.
I will head up onto my ship, giving a polite wave and bow to any polite greetings to people as we come, if they come up to greet me.
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, Roland, fucking got me with that gift. Let's go ahead.
We're going for the harp.
Roman kind of holding the harp, following James behind.
Look, we got our reward for helping the city. That's billions.
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna buy it though?
Hey, we might use it. You know it has crazy magic effects, and my
This is
background is a
true.
bard. You don't know.
That's true.
You make
Backup
it to
character? What does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
As you make your way through the party, kind of walking through, heading up towards the ladder as James kind of climbs his way up. Or James, are you gonna wait for your famous lift?
I will just go on up. There's no
Okay.
sense in not.
Give me a climb check, James.
You. And I will also instantly take off my armor.
That's fine. That's fine. As you I assumed you would have done so
fail.
walking through the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Don't worry, I'm ready to catch James if he falls off the ladder.
look,
I set the harp on
it
the.
isn't as bad.
As you set the harp on the left, kind of waiting. And as James, let me double check something, James. I want to see. Please tell me.
I don't think there's a DC for climbing a ladder.
That's because it's a ladder.
You know what? It's funny you say that. Technically, a ladder does have a DC. It's a 10. So, technically, he barely succeeds, as James is still not used to it and climbs quite clumsily, losing his footing every once in a while. As you can hear small dwarven curses under his breath as he climbs his way up.
I take the lift.
Alright. As you see the lift looking over, there are 2 chairs that have been added to it that are fully leather-like wrapped that you can see are very well done.
I stand
No
for
worries.
the principle of it.
Yeah. Cinder, I assume you're taking a seat.
No, I stand. Because I prepped for this. I'm showing off.
As you feel the jerkiness of the lift kind of begin to climb up. Give me a balance check, both of you.
All right. I'm gonna take 10.
Okay. Which gives you?
A 26.
You succeed.
27, 31. That'll be a 31.
Alright, yeah, as you manage to hold your ground, the smoothness of the ride, thankfully, not too terrible as you pass James, who's he's climbing up, kind of pulling himself up onto the top rung as you dislodge.
I need to start physical training, god damn it.
I trained
Are you
skill-
saying you haven't been?
James a little
I trained
winded.
skill-
Good.
Years.
Cinder kind of climbing off with a smile as she saunters off down below. As you two kind of head into... Oh, actually, Cinder, are you going to stick with the crew, or are you heading to your room out of curiosity?
Dude, I've got work to do. I'm going to my room.
Okay. So you head down, saunter off, heading down below to your room, kind of checking on the crew as you wave, saying hi to a few as you pass by. James and Roman, as you see Sindra kind of heading off, the two of you kind of left with the loot as you kind of stand on the top deck. Karak kind of standing with his 2 brothers as they look on at you, waiting for orders.
I tell them to get prepped to take off.
Roman turns after James kind of immediately cuts him off and just nods to it, and the Karak kind of nods. The 2 rough bloods behind him of his brothers kind of not immediately jumping to. As Glitterrock kind of hearing this from the helm, gives a nod at that to Roman and begins to get the ship in order as orders are yelled out, and you hear Stan Standerson's ship kind of echoing the same. As a few moments go by, the ships begin to kind of come to life and head up. James and Roman, are you two going to head into the captain's quarters, or just kind of hang out with on top of the deck for the time being? Or do something else?
We should take the goods either to my room or the captain's quarters.
Which is more secure?
Well, one's a personal demi-plane that can only be accessed by the individual when they want it to be accessed. And the other is a room that you can open the door to. Yeah.
Put it in your room, James.
Let's see. One has been broken into a lot. The other has yet to be broken into.
It's been broken into once.
That you know of. G-Kicks.
No, Kaijin.
Oh, well, also Kaijin. But yes, as you head down below, through the quarters, the crew kind of whistling as they see the bag of loot and the glimmering harp as they seem to be ecstatic about it. James kind of and Roman heading into James's room as Hammer and Forge kind of give you space heading outside as they let you guys kind of gather up. Yeah. As Roman kind of smiles mentioning this, a few of the men kind of clapping at the excitement of a bonus as the 2 of you head into James's room, closing the door behind you. Syndra's door already shut, and Melvin's door still shut, having grown a bit of dust from the entrance.
At least we know he comes back at night, so we're not leaving him behind.
James says this as Roman, you realize Melvin's not left that room the entire time in last 6 months.
Yeah,
well, no,
don't worry.
We've had notes from him saying he left for teaching jobs and whatnot.
That's true.
Yeah, he could have put those notes there and just stayed in his room.
That'd be really funny.
That's also true.
Now, Roman is paranoid of Melvin. I hope this is known. Would I know if he's left that room at all? I know you just said it, but
the dust trail, yeah, you would have seen that it hasn't changed at all. I mean, it's building cobwebs. There's no way he's gotten out of it unless he's teleporting.
From outside of Demiplane too. And,
yeah, exactly.
James, I don't think he's left that room.
Maybe he's teaching through the magic then. Huh. Weird.
Maybe.
Roman sets
James
down the harp in the
questioning
corner.
The being that is Melvin and all of his weird shit.
Fair.
Are we just providing housing for a homeless man?
No,
Yes.
we're providing kind of, but no.
You see as suddenly a
Okay.
window opens and you see Syndra's like mountainous landscape freezing cold. She sticks her head through and just nods at that. And James just looks over at her in surprise.
This. Oh well. Anyways, I can work on identifying these over the trip as we head towards the Frost Hammerlands. With Grandsire's shield, I should be pretty well off to take the throne. I'll write some letters up as well. Anything you need to cover with me, Rolliman?
I don't think so.
Not Frosthammer, Frost. No, I did not.
You want to go
We're going
back
to
to
Frosthammer?
you want to go back to Frostforge and you just like pop up there and be like, wait a minute, this isn't home.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, love that place.
Wrong way, taking a turn left.
Lord Frosthammer just coming
Man,
out.
this is my
with
old
his
house.
arrogant ass. Yeah.
No. It's going to be my house.
Yeah, as you kind of mentioned that you see as the ship kind of glimmers and you hear a knock on the door as someone seems to be kind of trying to kind of get your attention. No voice unfortunately heard as the knocking continues.
I will open the door.
As you do, you see his glitter rock kind of looks over at you, and smiling as he does. His paleness kind of illuminating under the light from James's room, and goes, "Ah, Captain James, I have good news. The men managed to design something up for you. They've called it a light board. It's a way that we can write down using a similar to one of your spell items that you had left laying around. Lets us put up locations on where we're heading for the men so they can prepare. May I ask, are you the one who asked us or said the city of Frostbuster of the last spire?"
Frostbuster, yes. Heading home.
And you see as he turns back to the men and goes, "It worked, men!" And you hear a bunch of cheering and laughing as they start to get a little bit more ruckety. Ruckety. There's a new word. Ruckus.
I'm guessing Unga Chunga had something to do with this.
He nods and kind of gives a smile and goes, yeah, she's been working on the ship making small improvements. You might also note that the rooms now have the ability to connect the demi-planes to different demi-planes as long as there's no hostile intent. Downside, she did mention that it means that you can see each other naked when changing, so be forewarned not to look into each other's rooms at certain points.
Oh, can we just disconnect them, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's
You could just
fine.
also do that.
I'm glad she's getting in some practice, and if she's willing to, we might be able to turn that light board thing into something that goes to many ships.
I can
As a
pass on the idea, definitely on that. But for the time being, with that lighting up, I'll let the crew know and make sure that we are heading in that direction. Do be careful, Sir James, as when you say where you want to go, the thing will automatically update and alert us, so we will change direction. So be very careful on how you speak.
James
will-
going slightly pale.
I will add a thing. If you could add to the whiteboard that needs also a confirmation from me, Syndra, or James.
Sure, I can do that. It's a simple thing. Right now, it doesn't actually make the ship go in any other direction. It's just to let us know to turn or go somewhere else. That way you guys don't have to come out if you're, as Unga Chunga put it, throwing up the belly of the beast. I don't know what that means.
Referring to you, Rollman.
I still haven't got Glitter Rock's fucking accent down at all. I'm going range here.
You know what? He's eccentric. He's a vampire. We know this.
Yeah, it's true. As he kind of smiles though and looks at you and goes, "So with that, I'll get the ship moving, Commander Rollman, Captain James. We'll be there 4 days roughly. From what I can remember of where the last spire is."
Alright, thank you.
And he kind of nods, closing the door as he kind of gives a smile. Sings Cinder on the window, kind of gives a smile and a nod to her as he closes the door fully, heading off back up to the ship.
A nifty little thing. All right. Well, I'm gonna go to my room.
Alright, see you later, my friend.
See ya.
As Rollman,
I want to try something.
Yeah, as Rollman opens the door, what you wanting to try?
So in the past, I've all the way back when I was thinking about the trials for the Dragon Crown stuff,
Uh-huh.
I imagined the different, elemental planes and stuff. I saw in the water, and there's deep shit. So it makes me wonder if there's actually a water elemental plane. I want to think of pandemonium.
Okay. As you head out, kind of walking over towards your room, and kind of think of this and go to open the door.
I'll make sure that they're disconnected from the other two before I do that as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, they have to willingly connect with you.
That's true.
Otherwise, that's yeah. As you go to open it, you see as the vast sands of desert kind of exist, nothing but just empty sands for dunes for miles. As you kind of look on, as you hold your door open, it looks to be a recreation of Pandemonium.
I take a hesitant step in.
As you do, you feel your body kind of already under the exhaustive effect, and your body beginning to feel more tired almost instantly as you step in, looking about.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you head in deeper, kind of the sand or the exhaustion kind of fully coming over you as your body begins to feel fatigued and tired. The sands themselves almost sucking away your energy as you look on, and it is a chill but warm kind of environment as the sand seems to always be a slight, almost warmed like baking heat, while the sky stays clear and not hot, but seems to keep a cool breeze blowing. It's strange. It's both comforting and exhausting to exist around this area.
Training.
As Roman begins his running routine like a guy running, like a boxer running on the beach.
Ah, yes. I can train with exhaustion now.
Oh God! All right, is that what Roman's
Endless
heading off to?
possibilities.
Yeah. As
Please
you
be careful. I don't need you dying.
I will be careful.
as you head off to go train, good.
He's not going to be careful.
No,
I have an orb that removes me exhaustion for 10 minutes. I think I'll be okay.
There's a reason Syndra thinks he's a fucking psycho. He's
I am a psycho.
Yeah.
All right, James, give me a D20 for a luck check as the ship starts to take off.
Oh no. Oh no.
Time to
How
bounce.
lucky
It's tied the day plane.
James.
I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Okay. As the first day goes, or as you head off, the ship kind of take off without issue. The stares the ship following behind as you're alerted and let known. First day goes pretty quiet and peaceful as you head out into the skies. The second day comes around, and you begin to notice that as you look out, kind of looking out amongst the clouds and the beautiful mini fish that are kind of flying about, something feels off, James. The third day goes by as you look out, kind of watching. Still, so nothing there, but something seems strange as there's less fish today that seem to keep close to your ship. Nothing else, though, is alerted as the crew seems to report. Everything's calm. Everything's relaxed. No enemy ships, no merchant vessels, no nothing. As the fourth day passes and you finally see the beautiful glimmering last spire mountain in the distance, something above you seems to almost seem to blot out the entirety of the sun as you hear the alert and the bell is rung on top of the deck by one of the frost giants calling Syndra and Rollman to the top deck. As the three of you manage to get up there and look up, you see a massive shadow, a colossal plus shadow, that looks to be almost big enough to wipe out an entire city. Its scales glimmering as the beautiful orange coloration of the underbelly seems to glimmer out. Massive, long horn like a swordfish kind of seems to push out from its beak. Huge, beautiful reptilian wings glimmer under the sun and seem to give a almost golden glow on your ship as you watch a massive fish go fluttering over your ship. About, you'd guess, maybe a half mile, roughly a mile above you in the skies as it goes from one cloud to another.
Big fish.
I'd like to try to recognize what the hell that is.
Yeah, give me a knowledge on nature, my good man.
Flashback to way earlier campaign where we were told giant skyfish were eating ships, and we saw the aftermath.
Correct. good sir.
Yeah, but we've
Hey,
also had
basic
other
video
fish
games.
avoiding us, so because we are a pretty big ship.
Huh?
I repeat, flashback to giant things that ate a ship as big as our current ship because we saw the aftermath.
That's true.
All right, let's see what you
As
got.
I will give myself the best chance here. And this is knowledge, so this would be a +2. All right. 29.
Well, so this is called a giant stormfish, or at least that's the general terminology that was given it in its earlier discovery. These creatures are noted for not having a specific territory, instead just growing to colossal size and flying around the vast clouds and skies, eating really whatever they want. Though the creatures seem to almost or be unable to go beneath the cloud line itself, they can almost seemingly fly and slash swim through the skies faster than ships for the most part. They are known at the largest size to get kind of aggressive and competitive for especially amongst territories when there are females in the area and it is almost mating season year round for these creatures. Typically, they see ships as enemy bulls, if you will, enemy males that are challenging them and will typically attack them. They are really well known for hating the smell of storm giant because storm giant smells, or sweat smells just like a male excreting its hormonal fumes. Which is to basically say that Storm Giant is or smells like a challenge to another male. As you find yourself on a ship that thankfully has no Storm Giant bloodlines, but does have a few Mountain Giant bloodlines amongst them. Thankfully, though, the creature, as you look up, does not seem to notice as it flutters past.
What the hell is
Okay,
that
and
thing?
we're below where it can actually get us, from my understanding.
Just barely as you look up, seeing the cloud line. Yes.
Rollman, take us down just a little bit.
Aye,
that's
aye,
a-
Captain.
That's a stormfish. I'd
Okay.
rather not watch us get shattered to pieces.
Okie dokie. I will lower the ship.
As you shout the order, Glitter Rock kind of begins to lower almost immediately, of about 20 feet or so, getting below the cloud line. As you look up, each of you give me a spot check.
I'm awesome at spot.
I know, Rollman, you got this, Ben. 19, okay, from James. Rollman 13, hey, not bad, you know?
It's okay.
Yeah. 22 from Syndra. As you see the pink, bright airship from earlier, its glimmeringness kind of catching your attention as you also see the stone giant or storm giant Stonebeard kind of pirating his crew of ships as it flutters past the large fish. The creature suddenly jerking with an immense speed that causes the wind around you to begin to billow and blow as you all watch this. The ship almost immediately smashed into by the fish's back tail, slamming apart as the head whips around, swallowing up what looks to be the storm giants as they begin to fall. The debris of the ship going clattering down below as the beast expertly avoids any of the debris.
Sucks to be them.
You watch as it
if they
turns
weren't
and flutters
pirates.
away. James says this as he looks up,
feel a
going.
little bad.
As you say this, James, you see some of your crew give a bit of a grimace before going back to work as you lot kind of start to head in for a landing outside of the last spire.
Boy, they threatened to kill us before. They were chasing us to get us.
They did. As you come into landing, you do see the gate almost immediately open and guards begin to rushing out. What looks to be a individual wearing clerical garb, their robes almost beautifully purple in coloration, different colors of gemstones and the shapes of eyes kind of all wrapped around their neck as they come walking up with what looks to be a small platoon of snowbeards, all dressed in the royal colors of House Frostbuster, being a light white or a light blue and white coloration. As the priest comes rushing up as you kind of get your crew in order, getting them ready to disembark and get set up. The lift is kind of let down as Syndra, James, and Rollman as you're kind of set down to look at this individual. Priest kind of walking up to you with his guards and waits as he stands about 40 feet from your ship.
Man?
Give me a knowledge history check, James.
Because I also don't remember having a brother, and during the 4 days I probably would look into that, but I'm guessing we'll handle that.
I can confirm you do not have a brother. That doesn't take a check. That's a simple. Hey, do I have a sibling? No.
Yeah. Fucking.
You do not recognize the individual, James, but you do recognize the symbol. This is a member from the Temple of the One-Eyed, a small temple inside of the last spire dedicated to Sarazeki's worship.
May I roll religion for how important this guy would be in their religious hierarchy?
I was about to ask the same
Go for it.
thing because I'm better at religion.
Oh, don't worry, I'm good at religion.
Let's see what you got, Syndra.
So 33.
History.
He would be considered basically the equivalent to a local bishop. Not an archbishop, not some cardinal, not the pope, but a local bishop. The church here has never been very strong amongst the group either, and so the Church of Sarazeki never gained much power even at hand amongst the court, unlike many of the other territories and cities. So while bishop is a respectable title, he is about as valued of an opinion as a guard captain for one of the local militias. That is to say, he barely holds any sway here.
When within proper range, just because good relations and such, I'll just say bishop and give like a dip of my head. Not like I'm part of your church and you're above me, but you hold some position of
Respectful
power.
nod.
Recognition.
Kind of smiles as he sees this and kind of speaks up and goes, I am Letham of the House of Enkos. I represent the Church of the Temple of the One-Eyed. I see your banner is the Ironheart itself. I must take it you are Ironheart himself, James of the Frostbusters?
That I am.
I have come to recognize you and your party of adventurers and welcome you to the city, along with the guards here who are all compatriots of your childhood and were set to have guarded you when you were young, as he points to the older...
Nice.
As he kind of ushers his hands over to the side, and you see these older snowbeards that all look to be very much venerated in their age. Like, these are very elderly-looking individuals, and James, almost all of them are recognizable as the guys who basically raised you. They were around you at all times.
Smile.
Many of them
It's
seem
good
to...
to see you all again.
As you kind of say this, many of them seem to smile almost immediately at that. Kind of toothy grins as they do, as he kind of looks, as the young snowbeard in the temple garb kind of looks back at you as you say this and goes, Yes, the pleasantries can wait. I do apologize, but we are on a bit of a schedule. I need to bring you to an audience chamber within the day. But first, we must get you acquainted with your chambers today, as well as get you washed up and ready to meet with your younger brother.
When did I have a brother? Because I know I don't.
He is only 40 years old, I believe, if I'm correct in his ages.
I haven't been gone for 40 years.
I understand that. I believe your parents will be able to explain the situation better.
My father's dead, and my mother isn't in the country.
Looks at you and kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, "But your mother's here, and your grandparents are serving here.
There's information that suddenly makes James look a little concerned, because there is one thing on his back. Grandsire's shield is there. You can also let the family know then that I have brought back Grandsire in as complete a form as I could.
And change of subject, you see there's a little bit of a flash on his eyes for a moment as he looks. And Cinder, what were you trying to say a moment ago?
I would say I raised an eyebrow at how he's basically telling James where he's gonna go when this guy should have absolutely no power over what James does. And I kind of just give the guy a look,
He does not
Besides,
seem to make eye contact with you.
kind of daring him to try to make James go where he wants.
Besides that, if I have a younger sibling, I'd like to be able to meet my family, all of them. Grandparents, my mother, and this so-called brother. So I'll be heading directly there. I can clean myself up. I've been doing it for a long time.
James, I must stop you. I do apologize for this. If I can explain, you cannot visit the noble court today. It is an unfortunate situation, but I must insist that you at least retire
Sense
to
motive.
the noble quarters until until they are ready to summon you. Go ahead and roll it.
I don't trust this man in the least. Venkas alone, the name, puts James on edge. 21.
And what are you trying to gather?
Well, I'm not gonna go for murderous intent because he's a Venkas. He's gonna have that towards me, period. They marked me as a threat already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, truthfulness. How trustworthy are his words?
He seems to be telling you the truth from his perspective.
You see, I haven't seen my family in a long time. I didn't even come back when things went wrong because I was too far away for it to matter. So I'm going to see my family. And I do believe the men behind you will be happy to walk me there.
You see as the guards kind of give a smile at that, and you can see a few of them are giving glances at the young Snowbeard, who you'd guess James is probably around your age at most. He has not been a priest for very long. Like, there's no way.
So you're welcome to try to stop me. Or you can stop trying to lead in a place where you are not the leader.
Looks at you, kind of looks over at Syndra and Rollman and kind of eyeing them up and just kind of sighs deeply as the shoulders kind of slumps and goes, "You know what? I don't care. Your family's not even worth a Venko's time. I'm going back to my temple." And he just turns and starts walking off.
I will get the lowdown on what's been going on from the guards. They will know.
What do you ask? As what the guards kind of walk over, surrounding you. One of them kind of poking Syndra and goes, "You're not Drum. Who the hell are you?"
Which one would I recognize the most?
Good.
I'm not Grom anymore. I was.
Wait, you're Grum? Kind of smacks you on the back as he smiles.
I was. It's Astra now.
Astra. Oh God, you make an ugly woman. You know that?
Damn.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And he
Thanks.
smiles at you and goes,
Joan apparently paid her a compliment.
"Oh yeah, but he tried to mate with a donkey. I heard." And as the other guards kind of laugh at that.
Which one of these guards would I recognize the most?
As you kind of speak up, you do recognize one of them, the owner of the the inn here in town. Also one of the more older and frivolent guard captains who was recognized. His name is Jurgen of Laspire. He is, as you know it, rumored to be a bastard of your grandfather, who is the grandson of Grandsire, as we'll put it.
Hi, Jurgen.
Smiles at you.
Lowdown on what's been going wrong? It looks like we have more problems than I care to count.
Smiles at that and goes, "Oh, God, James, it's been a hell of a day these days. I tell you." He looks at Astra and kind of looks up and down and goes, "This one was set a whole and inherit everything, and then he got himself turned into a woman. Which, by the way, that spread through the family like wildfire. There's marriage proposals waiting for you on every desk, Astra." And looks Rollerman up and down and goes, "And you, good sir, I tell you, there are so many of James's cousins that have been looking at trying to get with you, Rollerman. I have letters upon letters I've been promising I would send you, and I've been keeping them like you told me not to. You have no idea how many of these ladies have been. I have gotten more undergarments. I've got a wall of these damn things now at this point. I'm just putting it up as a joke at this in the bar. It's no longer a joke. It's becoming a health hazard.
I see. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got you. We bachelors got to stick together. As she kind of gives you this toothy smile, as he is like
So
old
difficult.
and
You
rough
have
looking.
kids, that you have two.
Yeah.
I'll give you a steak eye.
James just smiling like I know something you don't know.
He kind of looks over though at James and goes, "Your brother showed up. So it turns out, Daddy had a bastard." And he's been hiding out, and he got found out in the temple because apparently Venkos kidnapped him, was planning to use him as something to summon Sarazeki back. And so Daddy gets killed, and we found the paperwork about him. Turns out he's not the only one. You got like 8 siblings, man. It's a whole story. Daddy was busy.
Note to self, I'll hunt them all down. And
Wait,
well, we do have
Wait, hold
something
on.
of his to put in the family grave. It's in Astra's care right now.
the kid was kidnapped too? We got something to bond over.
Yeah. And then your mom showed up. Shoot, about an hour or so ago. Been sitting in the throne room for a bit, but then there was some fella that popped in. I don't know, big red eyes, very angry talking and all that. Made a mess of the courtyard. I stabbed him in the ass, got him right in the cheek, and I tell you, that got him out of the courtyard. He called me, what do you call it, a harpy and a harlot. I told him that I didn't understand those fancy terms, but I appreciated as he was running away, screaming about it. I almost got my initials carved in. Next time, I'm gonna get him back, I swear.
Oh, don't worry, Jurgen. While I'm in town, I'll upgrade your weapon. I've been doing really good.
He nods, smiles as he goes, "Oh, I'd appreciate that. We've been hearing all about your crafts and capabilities, from Dragon's Crown all the way over to Draffica. You've been doing quite well for yourself, and I tell you, town's been looking forward to having you here, even if some of us don't remember that," as he kind of guides you through the gateway, or the gate door.
I'm keeping an eye out and around because this is home.
Mm-hmm.
There's a slight nostalgic feeling, but there's other problems at the ready now.
Yeah, as you head down the beautiful main city itself, what looks to be rivers kind of flowing through almost every city street. As you can see, what looks to be almost something designed to clean the roads of horse manure, as well as dealing with the those who are a little bit less than clean and willing to bathe, as recognizing the aqueducts that kind of run throughout the city as you look about. The mountain itself is simple in its design, along with the city. Beautiful, almost with the simplicity of each structure. There's a lot of surprisingly civilians kind of walking around, as you see a pretty good population, James, that wasn't here when you were younger. As you walk through, Jurgen kind of pushing you through.
Fencing motive on Jurgen, because at this point,
crowds.
he's rushing now.
He's just kind of shoving through the crowds to get people out of your way. But sure, feel free.
Yeah. Well, I have trust for people. Let's not forget, they're shapeshifters.
That's fair.
Is this him? Is this actually him?
With a 20, I mean, he seems to kind of be leading you through the streets with such familiarity. Yeah, I mean, the patrol's working as they're supposed to. Everything seems to be
James
him.
is not gonna relax. There is no reason to relax, but he's happy.
Yeah, as you pass by a large building, as he points to the Dragon's Lodge and kind of his lodge that he owns, smiling as he does. The beautiful barracks-like design to the building, kind of recognizing it, now turned into what looks to be a large open area with a huge dance floor and a band playing as people continue enjoying their food inside. Passing by, you see a stable full of woolly mules, a dedicated section where you see BK's initials kind of put up to his family. And his bloodline, recognizing the expensive mule line that you had bought it for him from.
He was a purebred, and he did so good.
passing by what looks to be a cabin that's been turned into an alchemist shop with a couple of cobwebs and broken cages out front. As you recognize one of the lesser clan members of Frostbark kind of working amongst it, seeing Heather inside as he waves. The older Snowbeard working away at some potion that it almost explodes
Giving
with
him a
purple
wave
smoke.
back.
Yep. Continuing through, you pass by another place called Rolf's Jewelry, a new place that you're not familiar with, now taking up what looks to be an old stone-walled tower that had once been designed as a small little fort of sorts to kind of fall back to, now fully been renovated and turned into what looks to be a jewelry shop.
Making note to
And
deal
then,
with to investigate everything, because the town's going to get scoured.
yeah, then the last one that kind of catches your attention is the War Owen shop that has now been torn down and rebuilt into what looks to be a simple two-story wooden building. The words "The Vast Transmuter" kind of hang on the sign out front. As you look in and see a battle dragon drake koboldkin kind of walking about as he deals with a couple of customers. A magic staff on his back that seems to glimmer with a green energy as he kind of walks about, teaching or talking to people about different items. But as you kind of pass through all these stores, Jurgen kind of continues as he was, getting you all the way up to the keep itself as he kind of walks you towards it and smiles as he does and goes, "Well, this is where we leave you. We got kicked out for the last time we were in here, something about being blamed for the assault on the Frostbusters. I tell you, it wasn't our fault. We were on break, and there was another group in charge of that, but...
I'll hear the entire incident probably by the end of the week.
Oh, truly. But come by and drink with me sometime at the lodge. I'm gonna take the men back since we're not technically even hired anymore. We lost our right to guardship to the guardship technically around the same time your brother took power. So we'll be down there if you need us." As the men
I'll
kind of
keep
give you
that in
clap.
mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As the men kind of clap you on your back and smile as they kind of head off back into the town, vanishing amongst the crowd. Looking up at the impressive mountains and the huge gates to the keep. Good.
I'm gonna ask this because it seems reasonable that James would assume this. There's a false stand somewhere nearby,
A false what?
isn't there? There's a stand somewhere nearby.
Okay, maybe it's too much JoJo that I've been forced on by Trinity. When you say stand, are you talking like an armor stand or like a statue?
The guy, Stan.
The
no
guy, Stan.
Oh,
Did one of his
Stan
spies
himself.
follow?
Okay. Give me a spot check or search check. I'll take either.
You see Stan? They're very stealthy.
It is. They meant like stand as in
I'm
like
asking because I was gonna be like, okay, orders, time to scour the entire area.
23. As you look about, you do not see any of the stands.
It's like, where's Waldo but for Stan?
Mm-hmm.
Where's
We
Stan?
will deal with that later then. Roman,
Yeah,
don't fuck any of my relatives as I walk in.
I told you. I don't like dwarves.
Still by that.
As the three of you head up to the door, it
As long as
begins
they ain't
to...
dwarves, we're fine.
It creaks open, and as it does, you see on the other side, James, you recognize the many distant cousins you have. 30, 40 of them, many of them branches of the family, all of them females, all of them staring at Rolliman as the squealing begins. As Rolliman takes a step back, hands out.
Here.
Ah, yes, I see.
As you say this, you see as one of them begins to lunge, and Rolliman, you recognize the half-Goliath, half-dwarf cousin of James, only known as Rambunctiousa, as she was named after her dad's favorite item he crafted, a ring of ram. As she comes charging at you and looks to be built like a ram with the broad shoulders she has.
I'm stepping out of the way and just walking down the hall.
I redirect them.
Yeah, ow. How are you doing so?
Momentum.
Physically all.
I mean, they're charging at me.
As James just walks
Dodge.
around, Cinder, I assume you're following James as Poor Roman starts to get charged.
Oh yeah, this is look. I'm gonna get my annoyances later when all these marriage contract requests
yeah,
come.
yeah.
Like, this problem right now.
No, that's fair. That's fair. As Roman,
James
go ahead.
James is gonna be pulling the shield off his back with the grandsire shield.
You're hiding behind it.
Getting it ready.
Eh,
No,
as
I'm
you
getting
head
it
in,
ready. I'm carrying it beside me now.
Roman,
Oh.
give me a base attack, d20.
Base attack.
Yep,
Gotcha.
because this is with your hand, unarmed strike, basically, as you're trying to guide this woman in a different direction.
You might be able to add your strength to it.
Maybe.
Oh, well, hey, good news. Oh, well, as you go, she overpowers you and seems to turn as you kind of grab her shoulder, slightly turning her. She kind of spins and almost immediately grabs, picking you up, and starts running with you into the city as the other girls start to chase after her.
I
Stop one of them as I'm
activate.
walking in. Can you make sure he's back here soon? I do kind of need him.
As
I
you
activate
try.
my spell tattoo.
Okay, good.
And fucking teleport out of their hands, and standing by James.
As they start running off, looking back, their eyes as the women start chasing after him. James, you try to get one of the gals' attention. They do not. They ignore you as they start charging off. As she vanishes around a corner, the other girl's disappearing, and as they do, Roland suddenly appears next to you, sweat kind of coming down his face a little bit as
I'm
his
just
tattoo
imagining
glitters.
the noise from fucking Dragon Ball Z Abridged when Goku instant transmissions. Just the pop.
Mm-hmm.
Roland. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
As you walk in, you see Roland kind of turn and purposely like closing the doors as fast as he can.
Let us move a little quicker before they realize I'm not in their hands anymore.
You see, as he kind of pushes one of the armor suits into the two iron balls things, as the guards just kind of give a light chuckle and just stand at attention as you pass by.
Do I recognize the guards?
Give me a knowledge history, please.
Because I'll be going through trying to keep an eye on who is still here from when I was younger.
Yep, I got you.
James being more nostalgic, and he doesn't remember it.
James, well, I've got good news. None of these guards are the ones that you recognize from your youth.
Great! I can't trust any of them.
As you look about and recognize many of them seem to have fiery red like skin, giving the notice of their Venkos bloodline, recognizing this as a common factor of one of the lesser clans of Venkos.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna have to... James in his mind, I'm gonna have to do a coup of my own homeland. I'm gonna have to kill a bunch of people. This is gonna be a great time, I guess.
It's not a coup, it's cleaning house. There's a difference.
Oh, that's true. Really wish the Black Rose was around. I could have them assassinate people.
Coup implies you're gonna slaughter your mother and
Right.
take the...
I mean, you could do that if you wanted to.
I mean, if I do it and have her immediately brought back just so that, people think she's dead, it might save me a lot of fucking pain.
You're still gonna be slaughtering your mother in broad daylight. That's gonna follow your reputation forever.
As you head through the doorway, or through the doorways of the hallways, many rooms and halls that you've kind of found yourself traveling much when you were younger, heading down below, it takes about an hour of your walking until you finally find the throne room down beneath the ancient river that kind of runs beneath this city that helps power a lot of the forges and demonic crafting that goes on deep beneath the halls, where few can get access, and some of the members of Clan Frostbuster still participate in the old giant beliefs and rituals. As you find yourself in the throne, or up to the throne doors, two guards kind of standing at either side, thankfully recognizing both of them. Their veterancy being of old guards who served your father directly, though that doesn't give you warmth as your father was killed on their watch. So
it also doesn't give me warmth because apparently he was off fucking everything that had a pulse.
Exactly. As you go to open the doors and find that you're at someone announcing you, calling out James of the Ironheart clan, James Ironheart of Clan Ironheart, and as well as Grom Frost Fury of the house or of the clan of Frost Fury, and lastly Rolaman of the land of Rolaman.
Oh, land of Rolaman?
He says
Oh,
this,
man.
shouting
You
at
got a
his...
kingship here.
Roland kind of looks over and a little surprised look on his face as James looks up and sees almost an exact younger replica of himself sitting on the throne. His mother sitting beside him, gilded in platinum and gold armor and a dress. And beside on the other side, a figure with strange purplish eyes staring at you. A beautiful white beard glimmering. A gorgeous woman that looks to be almost a dwarven princess of sorts. But as you kind of take a second looking at her up and down, that's where we'll end session today. We thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. And as always, the cliffhangers are for James to make him panic all week. So we'll see you
No, there's no
on the next
panicking
time.
this time.
Oh, well, I won't mention the dagger that's going to be at your throat. It's okay. Thank you all. We'll see you next
It's gonna
time.
happen.